I've made a lot of content on YouTube, but some of the ones that you guys love the most are when I talk about the origins of disturbing videos. I made my first video on the subject back in 2024 and have made quite a few parts since then. I plan on making way more stuff like that this year. You will be finding the origins to a lot of weird stuff, trust me. But what better way to start 2026 than getting a recap on everything that I've found so far? Maybe you've seen all of the parts before and want something to watch, maybe refresh your mind on everything. Maybe you're brand new to my channel and this is a good introduction to all of my content. Whatever the case may be, whether you need something to fall asleep to or to study to, it all boils down to one thing. Sitting back, relaxing, and enjoying 2.5 hours of Jaden salads, that's me, finding the context to disturbing videos. Be sure to like and subscribe, by the way. We are almost at 300,000 subscribers, so thank you to everyone who's clicked subscribe and got me to the point where I am. I'm truly grateful I get to do this as my job. I wouldn't want to do anything else. Well, maybe there's a couple different things that I'd want to do, but I love you guys. Thank you.
American Football is the title of this 3-second long clip. The video uses the intro to a song called Never Meant by a band called American Football. Using the intro of this song was a pretty big meme a few years ago, having it play in the background before something silly happens. I remember seeing the use of this American Football meme back in like 2019, and every now and then I'll see it pop up on my social media feed. But I've always asked the same question: what is the origin of this? The video is genuinely unsettling. We start out in a low quality liminal space, and the next second we're getting jump scared in the most gentle way possible. I'm just gonna read a couple of the comments from the most popular re-upload of the meme. It's not even running. It just moves fast, which almost makes it worse. What's more scary is that it looks like it manifested out of the damn shadows. Nah, he don't bite. For anyone curious, the original video is from a channel called Aaron Stone, and the name of the video is Demon Dog. Thanks to this comment, I didn't have to do any searching, as I looked up Aaron Stone on YouTube and saw the original upload of the supposed Demon Dog. The video is in a higher quality and doesn't have any Midwestern emo playing in the background. I don't know if it makes it any scarier or less scary. Along with this, the channel also features a sequel and threequel to the Demon Dog series. Go. The Aaron Stone YouTube channel doesn't have any other information regarding the Demon Dog. I tried looking up Aaron Stone on the internet just to see if there's some sort of famous costume designer, but came across nothing. What I did come across though was this tip of my tongue Reddit post from 4 years ago, where somebody was trying to find the origin of the Demon Dog video. A Redditor would respond to them and help them out by linking them to another post on r/gifs. My younger brother just finished another costume. This is the coolest thing he's ever done. I then clicked on the person's username who uploaded this and sorted their post by what's gotten the most upvotes. From what is shown, the things that get the most recognition are posts of their little brother's creations, the same little brother that would make the Demon Dog. Yesterday, my 16-year-old brother finished his latest creation. My younger brother finished another epic mask. My younger brother's work-in-progress high school art project, he never ceases to blow me away. Along with this, I also found a link to a behind-the-scenes Flickr page for one of the Demon Dog videos, which is pretty cool. The Demon Dog was simply the result of a teenager who has an interest in making some pretty cool and terrifying cosmetics. The first video I ever uploaded to my channel was about the Screaming Blue Kid, and there's a chance you may have seen this video back in like 2018.
Hey guys, this is Jaguar420, and recently there's been this video surfacing the internet.
To put it shortly, the video absolutely sucks. I tried explaining the origins of the Screaming Blue Kid, but in a very bad way. And for some reason, YouTube decided to push it pretty heavily at the time, and I got like 300,000 views on this. I think it's pretty crazy for my first video to do that well. I just thought I'd mention that moving forward. The video isn't disturbing like at all, but I decided to come full circle all these years later just to talk about it one last time. To those who haven't seen the Screaming Blue Kid, here it is. Let's start out with what we know about how this video got so popular. It began in the early 2010s when there was an online war in the Spirit Halloween animatronic community. This video in particular is pretty good and talks about the whole situation I'm about to go over.
This is Chris Turns Blue, and this video actually originated from the Spirit Halloween community.
Mr. Halloween Junkie is a pretty chill YouTuber as well. Go check out his content. I'll be referencing some of the following information from his video. So, like I said, there was an online fight in the Spirit Halloween community. In 2014, the community was pretty small, and the war was between two sides. Team Eric versus Team Brady. This video doesn't go into deep detail over what they were fighting about, but it was essentially just a back and forth cyberbully attack. A kid named Michael, who was on Team Eric, was apparently pretty good at finding the most obscure videos of children throwing tantrums, which led to him finding the Blue Kid video. He would then upload it to YouTube with the title Chris Turns Blue. Now, who is Chris? Chris was Brady's right-hand man, so Michael from Team Eric started a slander campaign against Team Brady's second in command, basically calling Chris a big baby any chance he had. I'm not sure how effective these videos were, but I'm going to assume that Chris got pretty pissed from this. I mean, these are some pretty serious allegations being made against him. All of this would remain in 2014, and the Screaming Blue Kid video would fade into obscurity, until an Instagram account called Fish Puppet decided to upload the Chris Turns Blue video to their meme page. I want to say it was the early months of 2019 when it got posted to their Instagram, and it blew up big time from that point on. Now, as far as who the kid is or where this video came from, that is honestly unknown. I did talk to him back in 2019 when my first video got popular, but the guy ended up deleting his account pretty soon after. I don't know where he went. We don't know why this kid is yelling, but it's safe to assume that his laptop was just being dumb. The next video I'll be talking about is just as recognizable as the last one, and it's usually associated with the name Ayuwoki, a play on the Michael Jackson lyric, "Annie, are you okay?" The video is of what seems to be a very creepy animatronic of Michael Jackson. There's different variants of the video online, but this one seems to be the most popular. This video, I believe, also sparked the creation of the Ayuwoki creepypasta. It's pretty popular in English-speaking countries. I mean, I've come across this thing for many years now, but it's primarily a Spanish-based creepypasta. The fictional story for this one is that the Ayuwoki will appear in one's bedroom at 3 a.m. and then say hee hee. Pretty scary stuff. But now it's time to talk about the origin of this Ayuwoki creature. The first instance of this being posted onto YouTube was back in July of 2009 by a channel called Thomas Rengstorff. The video starts off by saying, "My Goal Jackson," and then it just goes from there. Then, about 30 seconds later, the video cuts to black and the credits roll. You can see in the credits that it confirms that this was an animatronic and that you can actually buy it on eBay. It's also worth mentioning that this video was uploaded just a month after Michael Jackson had passed away. Going back to the person who made this monstrosity, their name is Thomas Rengstorff, like I mentioned earlier. They have a passion for creating animatronics and writing horror books. I really want to read this one. Similar to the kid behind the Demon Dog project at the start of this video, the Michael Jackson started out as a creepy hobby project, but would then go viral and later turn into a creepypasta and meme. My Hops is a song by an infamous internet rapper by the name of Viper. This man deserves an entirely dedicated video. The lore goes pretty deep with this one. I bring the song My Hops up because it's actually pretty good, but I think what drives the song home for me is the instrumental. This shit slaps. Anyway, a couple years ago when looking up the Viper My Hops instrumental, I found this. The video delivers as promised, giving me the instrumental that you're now hearing in the background, but the YouTube video just shows this and I don't like it. The description on this reads, "Instrumental accompanied by a suitable GIF," and I actually do think that this GIF has a similar vibe to the song. There's just that sense of unease and darkness, if you get me. This conveys emotion you can't describe. If you read about the movie where it's taken from, the GIF magically becomes less scary. It's from Penda's Fin, a British TV movie from 1974. I looked up Pinda's Fin on YouTube and was greeted with 4 thumbnails showing The Dude. This video right here apparently says that it's the greatest movie you've probably never seen, and the full thing is free to watch on YouTube right here. So let's see if it's the greatest movie of all time.
Oh, my country, I say over and over, I am one of your sons, it is true.
Most of the people in this comment section of the movie are just talking about the demon mask part or sharing their genuine confusion on how they even ended up there. I personally don't care to watch this myself because it's really old, there's not enough skibbity toilet, and the color contrast isn't high enough for my liking. But if you seem interested in Pinda's Fin, it's been described as one of the greatest visionary works of English film, and even in the top 100 best British films of all time. I would give it an award just for the demon dude scene. It's pretty uncanny. The last entry I'll be covering is once again something I've already talked about on my channel, but I'd like to bring some more attention to it. This entry is none other than the Angel of Death soccer video. It starts out with some dudes playing soccer, and then one of them gets struck in the head by another player's kick. The person gets knocked to the ground, stands up, and then starts moving in a very erratic way. I mean, this is pretty unnerving to watch. This video was shared onto YouTube as early as 2007, and re-uploads of the clip usually have the title like Angel of Death Taking Football Player's Life. Now, first off, this person did not die. You did not just watch someone die. There's no reports of this person dying. It's just a very unusual, unnerving, like I said, sports injury. There's a lot of misinformation about the video, such as who the player is and what ended up happening to them. Along with this, there's barely any information at all regarding anything. The entirety of the soccer match is even lost media. The most we have of anything is the minute-long clip of the guy getting kicked in the head. The video is definitely real in my opinion. This started popping up around 2005 to 2007 from what I can tell around forum sites and YouTube. This wasn't footage taken from a soccer video game, and I highly doubt that it's the result of an animation. I truly believe that this incident did occur, and that maybe there's an extended cut of the soccer game somewhere out there. I bring all of this up just so I can bring a lot of eyes and attention to this particular part of the video. If the backrooms image could be found, I honestly think that the guy in this video can be contacted, and that there's a longer recording of the soccer match. If you decide to look into this and find any noteworthy information, join my Discord, let a moderator know to contact me, or just shoot me a DM on Instagram. With all of that out of the way, let's talk about what we might know about the video. Like I said earlier, a lot of this could be misinformation. It's a pretty weird case. Starting out, the supposed soccer match took place between Al Raid and Hager on October 20th in 2005. The player that started moving erratically is called Abdul Rahman Al Shwobi. I'm gonna say Shwobi. These are the only 2 pictures that exist of him on the internet. We don't really know what happened to him in the video, but there's a lot of people saying that he suffered from something called epilepsia cursiva. After the video ends, there's a couple different rumors regarding the future career of Abdul Rahman. Some people say that he retired from soccer after failing some medical tests, while the most popular consensus is that he recovered and then scored 2 goals in the very next soccer game, which in my opinion sounds like a feel-good story found on Reddit. I will say though, this article from July of 2005 shows the alleged Angel of Death player, and even says that Al Shwobi is considered the eye of the Hager team in the scoring process. So maybe this guy was good enough to make a comeback after such a scary incident. My only complaint is that if Abdul Rahman was such a good player and scorer on the team, and especially after receiving such a horrific injury, how is there so little to no information about this human being? There's no eyewitness accounts at the soccer game, which is fair enough because the soccer league that they played for wasn't the biggest, but I'm just left confused on this one. Hopefully, one of you watching can pull off some internet magic. I will give you $100 if you manage to truly find the origins to this video.
This was uploaded to Instagram on September 14th of this year by an account that reposts creepy and scary clips. What I find funny about this is that the top comment says, "What could possibly be the context of this?" And I'm sure everybody watching, including myself, is asking the same question. I also liked this other comment that said, "Did this really happen?" Yes, it did happen. Unfortunately, the caption to this post doesn't have any credits to the original source, which means that I have to find it myself. My initial suspicion was that this had to have been taken from a scary movie, because where else would this come from? Unless it did happen, like that comment suggested. I started off by searching things like scary face from ceiling movie, and as specific as that may sound, I found nothing. I kept searching more things similar to that for a little bit, but decided it was time to bring out the cheat code. Searching with Google Lens. Doing this method doesn't always work, but it has come in clutch multiple times, including right now. Thanks to Google Lens, it says that this was taken from a Japanese horror film called Cult. This film was released on April 4th, 2013. The synopsis on IMDb says, it follows 3 actresses who play themselves as they appear on a paranormal television show to investigate the exorcism of the Kaneda family. While looking a bit more into this movie, I noticed that it was directed by Koji Shiraishi. I couldn't put the pieces together at first, but the name sounded familiar. I looked at all the movies he's directed, and then I realized that this dude has been traumatizing me for most of my life. Koji was not only responsible for creating the video we are talking about, but he also directed Urahora. Your Mom's a Horror.
My mom!
Urahora was a 2008 found footage horror film, best known for having the scary ghost lady. If you know about this, then you know. I've talked about my childhood fears of this movie in a past video, and apparently Mr. Shiraishi is behind many other scary things as well. I just thought I'd tell you guys that. This guy's a horror legend. Going back to Cult, let's talk about the part seen in the reel. I won't spoil anything because I'd highly advise you to check this movie out. You can watch it for free on Tubi right now. But the scary scene of the ceiling lady occurs at the very end of the movie, at exactly 1 hour, 16 minutes, and 17 seconds in. This is definitely one of the movies of all time. But yeah, this spooky reel came from a Japanese found footage horror film, and it's pretty obvious in retrospect.
Y va para adentro.
Mírala.
Dale, pitale, pitale, pitale. Pitale, pitale, pitale.
¿Ya miraste?
Le dieron algo en la droga.
This reel was uploaded on November 9th of this year. The person who posted this is supposedly the same person who recorded it. I am warning you though, this account is ran by someone's rich auntie, and she is a certified freak. If you go to her page on Instagram, a lot of the videos on there are quite explicit, including her profile picture, which I can't even show. So you've been warned if you want to check this out for yourself. That said, this clip she posted is quite interesting. They pull up to a lady walking into a building, they honk at her, to which she turns around and stares at them in their car. She looks for a little bit, gets honked at again, and then walks away. It kind of looks like they're bullying her, but I don't know the story. On the surface, it's not the craziest video in the world, and it really isn't that unnerving. But I'm not gonna lie, the way this person moves is a little odd. Of course, I don't genuinely believe that this woman is an alien, as the caption is saying. As I just said though, her movements are unique. At the very beginning, she seems to walk up the stairs and into the building just fine. It's until she gets honked at that she turns around and then starts swaying the upper half of her body in a robotic fashion. After this, her walking seems to change and she walks away with a much stiffer movement. I'll put them side by side. The way this woman walked definitely changed at different parts of the video. Now, I'm not going to comment on her physical appearance because this is a real human with real feelings. I don't think any of us would like it if millions of people online were calling us an alien, so I'll leave it at that. I tried reaching out for an interview with the self-proclaimed rich auntie, as I wanted to hear the full story that led to her taking the video. Was she really being followed by this woman? Was there anything weird that actually took place? It's been quite a few days since I sent her a message, she never got back to me, so we'll unfortunately be in the dark as to what really happened here. My best guess, the most logical guess, is that this person has a disability that makes them walk and move the way they do, even despite them walking fine at the start of the video. I also doubt that this woman was doing anything malicious, as she's literally walking into an apartment building. Nothing about that to me would be alarming. She's not yelling, she's not screaming. All we could see in the video was her walking into a place, looking at the people recording and honking at her, and then she walks away. She seems pretty innocent to me. Until the rich auntie comes out with the full story or reaches out to me, this is just a lady walking into a building. I did see a lot of comments saying that this was AI generated, and I can confirm that this isn't true. I did a little digging and found the exact apartment seen in the clip, and it's a real place. Honestly, the scariest part of this whole entry comes from a review of the residency. A neighbor once told me that her poop backed up into the shower. So yeah, this video is a bit odd, you could say, but nothing crazy or scary is actually happening. I hope the woman in the video is doing alright. The next Instagram reel is of a creepy neighborhood full of copy and pasted houses. It's something straight out of a real-life Backrooms level. Just kidding. If you've been watching my videos recently, you would know that this is footage taken from my Liminal Space road trip series. If you guys haven't seen it yet, I basically traveled across the United States to see some of the most popular Liminal Space and Backrooms images, and it was pretty cool. You can go and check out the movie I just dropped on everything if you haven't already. I went to the original Backrooms location, the Liminal Taco Bell, the Liminal stop sign, and alright, I'll stop self-promoting, I'm sorry. This video isn't sponsored, so I thought I'd tell y'all about that, and also be sure to follow me on Instagram. Definitely give me a follow and send me scary videos. Sadly, I can't show the entirety of the next reel. It's basically a guy driving into the opposite side of traffic, all while recording it and screaming conspiracy theories. I'll play the audio and recreate the visuals the best I can.
Y'all done God mad. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. These people don't believe in Jesus. Y'all are living an illusion. You went in the house and kidnapped her from Linford Green. CI! Show your face! Emperor Selassie! Show your face! Show your face!
Before I continue, I just wanted to say that nobody was hurt in that video, and I will not and haven't showed anything graphic or grotesque. I have to clarify that for the YouTube guy who's probably going to review this to determine if I can make money or not. Please let me make money. I have a cat. Please let me feed my cat. Anyway, the reel was uploaded by a Crazy Moments account on April 3rd, 2025. It's definitely older than that though, because I remember seeing it quite a few times a while back. The first thing I did was try and figure out where this incident happened. During one point of the video, the guy filming gets chased by a police car, and he sticks out the window to record it. In the couple of seconds that I could see the car, I was able to make out a blue and white license plate on the front. There's quite a few states in the US that can have that blue and white color scheme, such as Kentucky, Iowa, Rhode Island, Connecticut, and South Dakota. This part had me stumped for a little bit, as it could have been any of these states' license plates. But if you look really close, you can sort of make out Mount Rushmore. My speculation was true, as I looked up what the highway patrol cars look like in South Dakota, and it's an exact match to the car seen in the video. Now that we know that this was more than likely filmed in South Dakota, this helps us boil everything down. The next thing I did was try and search for South Dakotan driving incidents or arrests related to people driving on the wrong side of the road. I came across a few articles that seemed to be related to the video we're talking about, but somehow none of them were. You would think that this would be a bigger deal, a bigger story. Then, after looking for a while, I found a Reddit post from 5 years ago that has the infamous video in a higher quality. To my dismay, no original sources or backstories were cited in the caption or the comment section, so I finally decided to use the Google Lens tool, which led me to a thread on Twitter. In the replies to this post, someone says, "This is genuinely my favorite video on the internet, and I've only ever seen it on one YouTube account. Where did you find this? I haven't been able to track it down." Someone responded to this person by saying, "I tracked it to here," with a link to the Internet Archive. The title of this page is called King Alda Don Marley Going Nuts, and was published on September 18th, 2018. There's 5 videos attached that were taken from this King Marley guy's Instagram, and I'll play everything I can in chronological order.
When you isolate yourself, just when you see the wealth, I need no help, I need no help. Got it out the mud, paper on my shelf, now I'm living well.
And he wasn't raised with love. I said I love him.
I got this, man.
You know what I'm saying? I told him I love him, man. And I got this. You see this shit, bro? All y'all had to do was communicate with us, man. I got 3 kids. That's crazy, man. You made my girl kill my twins. You made my girl kill my twins, bro. You made my girl kill my twins, man.
Because we gods. You see how she can't move? You got us looking on her. I told you I don't like to lie because I don't fucking remember the truth. I told y'all. That's why the fuck every time y'all see me, y'all looking like this. Yeah, it's televised now. Yeah, talk on the phone to your daddy, that builder. You see? You see her talking? Snitching? It's reversed. Look at that. Snitching, telling, and all that shit. You had us fucking with our fucking own family, yo. Look at these devils, yo. Yeah, look at the face. All that is in us. Go around now. Y'all done got God mad. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. These people don't believe in Jesus. Y'all are living an illusion. You went in the house and kidnapped her from Linford Green. The Bush family is playing with that voodoo bad, bro. Lexi, you're hypnotized. Marvell, you're hypnotized. Molly G, you're hypnotized. Selassie, show your face. Emperor Selassie, show your face. Show your face. Show your face, Emperor Selassie! Show your face, Emperor!
I wish I could show you guys the full clips. They're pretty incredible. I'll leave a link to this Internet Archive page in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. But that's essentially the origins to this infamous video of a guy driving on the wrong side of traffic. It all came from a man called King Aldadon Marley back in 2018, and weirdly enough, I couldn't find any mugshots or news reports on this event. Judging off of his 2018 to 2022 hiatus though, I'm going to assume that he was probably locked up during that posting gap. Surprisingly, as I just showed you, his Instagram account is still up, but the videos are no longer there. I did notice a few different posts of him back in 2024 where he's driving a motor vehicle. In one video, he's getting chased by the cops again, and the other says that he almost crashed due to Snapchatting while driving. This guy is an unstoppable force. On the brighter side, he also dropped a music video in 2024, which would also be one of the last times he's posted on the internet. As far as I know, he's been completely silent and hasn't appeared anywhere in 2025. So without him posting in over a year and no sign of him on the internet this year, I hope he's doing good. I hope everything's gotten better since his infamous viral moment. The last video is definitely less disturbing than the others, but for whatever reason, it did creep me out.
Bro, what the fuck is this? I'm watching this Taj. What is that? The fuck was that? Hang on. What the?
The reel is of a guy watching an old Call of Duty montage, and he spots something pretty unnatural. Somebody quickscoping a leprechaun. Now, if you're not familiar with Call of Duty, leprechauns aren't in the game. That's not normal. You don't usually play against tiny green people. So from my perspective, seeing somebody quickscope this elf-looking thing was quite bizarre. I really love everything about this video. Aside from the annoying mouth sounds the guy's making, it sounds like he's chewing on a Jolly Rancher. But the way he refers to the montage as a Taj was a real throwback.
I'm watching this Taj.
Anyway, I didn't have to do any searching for this one, as somebody explained everything in the comments. This guy was a part of a St. Paddy's Day limited time event in Call of Duty World War II. The Leprechaun Hunt Mosh Pit is a featured competitive multiplayer playlist that sees the little leprechaun appear every now and then with a cackle of laughter. If you manage to kill him, which takes a surprising number of bullets to take him down, he explodes in a puff of green smoke and you immediately earn all 3 of your score streaks.
Thanks to this commenter, I did a quick fact check, and this is exactly what this is. I never played any of the Call of Duties past Infinite Warfare because they all suck, so I totally missed out on the limited time Leprechaun event. I truly wish I got to experience this back in 2018. Thanks to this video by Tabor Hill, we get a better look at this cute little guy, and the entire thing is pretty cursed.
If you or any other people damage him, he yelps pretty loudly as well, and then he continues his laughter. With these sound cues, you should be able to pinpoint his location as he breaks people's ankles across the map. In one game I played, I destroyed him 5 times myself, and he came back for a total of 8. Other games I played, he only appeared 2 or 3 times.
Please let me know in the comments section if you got to play the Leprechaun event. I'm curious. Let me know your experiences and how scary it was.
The next video I'll be talking about was also shown to me while my parents were watching videos on the family computer. I vividly remember the title being "Girl Dies Because of Prank" or something along those lines. I think she got jump scared when walking into a room, and then she runs away out of the house and then gets hit by a car. All I had to do to find this one was look up "girl gets pranked and then gets hit by a car," and it led me to this video on Dailymotion. This thumbnail is exactly how I remembered it, so let's watch it together for the first time in probably over a decade. Okay, we're gonna be watching "Girl Dies Because of Prank." Real, not fake. So let's see if it's fake or not.
Okay, that's her. Okay, hide.
I'm so scared. She's walking in. He's behind you. I don't know if that was real. It sounded like there was like a crash sound effect. Let me replay that. I don't know if I can show that on YouTube just in case it is real. Let me. Oh, but she like does go under the car though. I don't know the sound effect kind of sounds like it was put in post. It sounds like a sound effect.
I never.
The end.
I never.
I'm gonna just say it's fake. Does it still scare me? No. Next video. Imagine being in like 3rd grade. You and your classmates get all of the hard work and studying out of the way, and your teacher decides to let loose and let everybody watch some YouTube on the projector. I don't remember how she picked this video, but I think everybody was wanting to watch the Duck Song. If you're too young or too skibbity toilet to remember this YouTube classic, the Duck Song was a cute little video about a duck trying to buy some lemonade.
Hey, bump, bump, bump. Got any grapes?
So the teacher put this on, or everybody thought she did, but it turned out to be a completely different version than expected. In the video that me and a bunch of other kids saw was where the Duck Song went as usual, but then it cut to the duck walking across a street and getting run over. There was blood and guts everywhere. I think it made some girls cry, and the teacher was pretty freaked out. I wasn't too traumatized by this. It's more of a funny core memory of my elementary school days. I did try finding the video that we watched, thinking it would be pretty easy, but it seems to be lost media. Someone on the Tip of My Tongue subreddit actually remembers the video I'm talking about, saying, "I'm fairly new to this subreddit, but I'm looking for the Duck Song where the duck gets run over by the man and or the woman. I have searched far, I have searched wide, but I've come up short. All I've found was a post on the Lost Media subreddit, posts on this subreddit, and a Lost Media article. While Googling, I found the name Kevin Dong. A important part is they were part of a fail video series, and Kevin Dong apparently made 4 of them and uploaded a compilation in 2015. Other than that, I'm cut short." They left 3 links in the comment section, and unfortunately, nobody would be able to help this person with finding the video. The first link they provided takes us to a Lost Media archive page about the Duck Song fail videos that he was talking about. In 2013, Kevin Dong made fail videos on his channel. In his fail videos, it edits a type of video or material that has a character getting hurt, harmed, or killed in violent ways. Sometimes at the end of the videos, a skull appears for a few seconds before the video ends. In 2015, he would make a compilation video with all of the Duck Song fail videos. The separate videos as of 2020, as Kevin Dong deleted his older videos from 2012 to 2014 and made newer videos from 2015 to 2019. As of 2020, the Duck Song fail videos and other fail videos are no longer on YouTube. The first Duck Song fail edition is one where the duck explodes, and the second one is where a safe falls on top of the duck. These two are actually re-uploaded on YouTube, but the third and fourth are still lost media. The third one is described as the duck walking up to the lemonade stand and telling the lemonade stand man to follow him, and the duck walks away from the lemonade stand, and then he walks across a road, and the corner store woman and the lemonade stand man drive a car and run over the duck. They run over the duck 2 more times and then drive off, leaving the duck's dead body on the road. The video is pretty terrifying to watch. Even the duck's dead body is pretty creepy to look at. Going back to the tip of my tongue Reddit post, the other 2 links provided are directed to other Reddit posts talking about the Duck Song Fail Edition. Neither of the posts led me to anything significant, so to everybody watching, if you find this Duck Song lost media, I will send you some free Jaden Salads merchandise. Let's talk about a video that's more lighthearted and more funny than traumatizing. From memory, it was a short clip that had a picture of a baby with a weird smile, with a baby laughing in the background. This was some pretty OG brain rot on YouTube, but I remember always seeing it on the homepage and it had a ton of views. Anytime this video would pop up in my recommended, I would feel like it was purposely hunting me down to force me to watch it, and then I'd poop my pants and cry. I tried looking up things like funny face baby or weird looking baby, but had no luck. So I asked my friend to see if he knew what I was talking about, and he did. Did you say the baby was called, or what'd you say the video was called?
Funny Arab baby.
Thanks. I then looked up funny Arab baby like he said, and came across this.
يما شخيت تعالي مسحيلي يما أخوي كمان شاف.
This was definitely the baby in question, but not the video. The view count is way lower than I remember. Somewhere out there, there's pretty much the same video, but way more popular. Does this stupid face still scare me? Sort of. The last video that used to disturb me as a young man was none other than Obey the Walrus. I first came across it when watching this nearly decade-old video called Top 15 Scariest YouTube Videos.
Number 15, Obey the Walrus. It features very creepy and childish music that plays over footage of a transvestite wearing a pink dress and walking around in a distorted manner.
I saw Obey the Walrus for the first time in that video, and it was enough to scare me for a pretty long time. I actually couldn't even work up the courage to rewatch it until sometime last year, and it wasn't until then that I realized that the video isn't even that bad. Over the near decade-long period of replaying Obey the Walrus over and over again in my head, I managed to make it way scarier than it actually was. Don't get me wrong, the video is creepy, and it does a great job at making you uncomfortable, but with a little bit of context, the video turns from scary to upsetting. Now, if you haven't watched this video before, it starts out with a clip from the game Star Fox 64, and then cuts to some footage of this very skinny person tap dancing and walking around. It doesn't help that it has some pretty spooky music slowed and reversed in the background. For the context of the video, this footage was taken from a movie called The Goddess Bunny. This is a documentary about Sandy Crisp, who was a transgender woman that suffered from polio. I'm not going to get into it here, but this person endured a lot of trauma when growing up. I mean, they had a pretty crazy life. So whenever they finally expressed who they truly are in this Goddess Bunny documentary, it was then taken by somebody on the internet, messed around, and then uploaded into this creepy video. While Obey the Walrus is inherently creepy, it does make me kind of annoyed that this real human being who went through so much in their life is now mainly recognized as a popular figure of internet horror. Sandy Crisp would pass away from COVID in 2021, so may they rest in peace.
I'm not a walrus, I'm a human being. And I would appreciate it if people would recognize that. So if you all would please stop posting negative comments online, I would highly appreciate it. Thank you.
Did Obey the Walrus traumatize me? Legitimately, my answer is yes. It creeped me out for nearly a decade, but when I finally looked into everything, it's not as scary as it seems. For the first video, we have this.
Kardeş ne oldu? Bayıldın amına koyayım. İyi misin? Bir sıkıntın var mı?
It was uploaded on July 11th of this year by an account called Nantane Slice. The video is of a child dancing with a clown, and one is obviously much more skilled at dancing and creepier than the other. The comment section is also pretty creeped out by this. The way he moves doesn't look human. Does anyone else feel that? Everything is okay. He is trying to entertain the kid, but his mask looks a little scary. Oh, that's just like a random dude with a clown costume, bro. It's like not even scary. The caption on the video also says, "A little boy claimed he danced with a strange joker, but later remembered nothing." This is all the information that we can get from this clip, so let's get to digging. Thankfully, the search for this started out pretty easy, as Nantane Slice credited the original source, which links to this account on TikTok. Unfortunately, this profile only reposts other people's content like a content farm instead of posting anything original. Even though they seem to have uploaded the dancing clown video before anyone else did, I have no reason to believe that Ryan Babyev was the person that actually recorded this video. And if that's the case, where did they get this footage from? What I did next was take a frame from the video and searched it on Google. It gave me plenty of matching results, but nothing that would give me any new information. As I scrolled down, I did see this video, which shows a kid dancing with a clown, but not the one we are looking for. And after scrolling just a little further, there he was. I clicked on the image, and it took me to the profile picture of a little kid's Facebook page. Upon further inspection, this is definitely the same clown from the video. It's the same mask, the same hair, the same outfit. There were two important pieces of information I could get from this find. One is that this Joker is likely based in Pakistan, because this kid's Facebook page says he's based out of Karachi, Pakistan. I could be wrong, but we'll see. Two is that you can see a sign with bright red LED letters in the background. I flipped the image horizontally, and you can make out the text ALHAB. I can't really make out what it says after that, but this could be important later on. I decided to keep scrolling on the similar looking matches, and once again, I found our guy. This time, it's a picture of the clown posing with some children, uploaded to a YouTube short. What I did next was screenshot the picture and search it on Google, to maybe see if this one could get more matches. And it did. It led me to this YouTube channel, and the image is the profile picture. I scanned through the channel's videos, and it's just innocent shit posting from presumably the kid in the photo. By sorting his videos by most popular though, it's an entirely new clip of the dancing clown. The exact same dance move, the exact same outfit, and if you remember the other kid's profile picture from earlier, ALHABIB. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Taking everything that I know now, here's what I got. This video was taken outside of the Al Habib restaurant in Karachi, Pakistan. There's nothing scary or malicious going on. This dancing clown seems to be a local street performer and commonly found outside of this restaurant. I even found a YouTube video that shows the exact spot of where this kid's picture was taken, out in the parking lot. Actually, the more I looked into it, there's been a plethora of different clowns that have roamed around this area for nearly a decade. So maybe they're working with the Al Habib restaurant, I don't know. As far as who the kid in the video is, or whoever recorded the video, I have no way of finding that. But at least we now know where this was taken, and that it is not scary or disturbing or murderous. This isn't 2016 anymore. Killer clowns aren't a thing, I think, anymore. I will say though, there is some additional footage I found on TikTok. There's actually a TikTok account from the restaurant, and it shows the clowns, which I guess the clowns are employed if they're on the restaurant's TikTok. So the restaurant hires clowns and they do silly stuff. Yeah. Before I get into the next reel, I thought I'd tell you that I will be blurring some or most of the video out of respect for the person in it. Also, a heavy trigger warning for, what would it be, like sewer slide, soup on the side. That being said, this video is very popular, so if you want to find it for yourself, you can find it on almost any social media platform. It won't be that hard to find. Anyway, here's the clip. If you can't make out what you're seeing, it's basically a guy in a hospital gown stiffly walking around in a hospital room. A few seconds in, he kicks at the hospital bed, sending it across the room. His movements are very sluggish, and his facial expression throughout the entire video is emotionless.
This is the version that I saw on IG Reels. It was uploaded on July 17th of this year. The caption says, "Terminal lucidity is a phenomenon in which a person who has been unresponsive, nonverbal, or severely cognitively impaired, often due to advanced dementia, brain tumors, or other neurological conditions, suddenly regains mental clarity and awareness shortly before death." What this means is that the person in the video is apparently experiencing terminal lucidity, which makes this a lot more grim than it already looks like. It's as if you're looking at a ghost. He's essentially passed away, yet his body is moving around for one last time.
Now, all of this information is from a random Instagram post, so maybe there's another story to this. Let's get to digging.
The first thing I did was try and find the video on another platform, so I found a popular re-upload on YouTube.
This guy is already dead. He just doesn't know it.
This one basically says the same thing as the initial Instagram post. It didn't really add anything to the search. Next, I did what I usually do and took a frame from the video to backtrace it on Google.
Because I backtraced it!
Doing this, one of the matching results was to a post on Twitter. This is Jaden Saloom, sitting and walking around after being declared dead and his organs removed. He died shortly after this. Some say he's a zombie, while others call it the Lazarus effect. Thanks to the post, we have a possible name for the person in the video. I looked up that name and found an article about the viral clip. It is worth noting that there is no official word on the incident, including news reports, death certificates, or autopsy reports. The name Jaden Saloom only ever appeared in the caption, and there is no confirmed identity of the man. Further, no hospital has acknowledged the said event. The tone of the story, as well as its vague origins, suggests it is more likely an unproven urban legend.
The article also starts to speculate as far as what happened to the man, but nothing past speculation, it's just theories, nothing factual.
Next, I looked up the name on TikTok, and to my surprise, there's a sea of content about this guy. The majority of these videos are re-uploads of what we've already seen. There's even animations.
Did you know that a man declared dead suddenly sat up on a hospital gurney?
I couldn't really gather anything substantial from TikTok, so I kept looking, which led me to a Reddit post talking about the video's origins. One of the comments on this post led me to a TikTok that showcased some alternate footage I hadn't seen before. This new footage shows a guy opening the door for the individual. He walks to the other end of the room, stops, and starts swaying his body from side to side. I apologize for sounding FNAF-brained, but he moves very animatronic-like. His movements are stiff. There was also another Reddit comment that left a link to a TikTok. This one shows us, once again, an alternate angle of the guy in the hospital room. It reveals to us that these are being recorded from the other side of a window that looks into the room. This one is genuinely unnerving, as the camera is focused on the guy's face, and as he stares into the lens, it's as if he's looking at the viewer. Something about it is haunting. At the start of the video, we can see quite a few people looking into the room. There's a hand on the glass. The whole thing feels upsetting. I get the vibe that these are the family members of this person, and they just want their boy back. The last TikTok that was linked in the comments section of that Reddit post was this one. It shows some of the most common footage of the guy standing around, but then we see him walk out of the room, with the door wide open. If he was really experiencing terminal lucidity, you know, if these were the final moments of his life and he randomly got up and started walking around, you think it would be a bigger deal. I would imagine his friends and or family to be in the room with him, instead of watching him through some glass like he's an animal. These are the thoughts that came to my mind personally, but what do I know? Not just all of that, but the way he was able to walk out of the room through a wide open door shows that the guy isn't a threat of any kind. If he really was some sort of crazy, deranged person or zombie, like people on TikTok are saying, I highly doubt that he'd be able to walk out of the room like that, without supervision. Moving forward, I saw a screenshot of a TikTok comment section, where a lady is claiming to be the sister of the man in the video.
My brother wasn't dead yet when this video was taken. He died shortly afterward from blood poisoning from the fire. Please stop distorting his story.
I did some digging on the girl's TikTok account, and nothing truly suggested to me that she's related to the guy. She doesn't have any posts with her supposed brother, she never mentioned him anywhere aside from that comment, and French seems to be the main language that she speaks.
I am aware that people can be bilingual, like it's not crazy. Like sure, this lady could speak French, English, and Arabic, but she hasn't yet. I haven't seen her speak Arabic anywhere, and I just think she would be more credible if she did speak Arabic, not French. At the end of the day, maybe I'm wrong, and it's not my place to say if she's related to him or not. I don't want to be a jerk, so I'll just leave it at that. Now we're going to be entering the second part of this rabbit hole, and it all started with the following TikTok.
The people in the video are mourning the loss of the guy on the poster, and many commenters online are saying that this is the same person seen in the hospital videos. I actually stumbled onto many different TikToks that show different images of this person. And the majority of these TikToks are of people celebrating the life of this guy, or mourning the loss of him as we've seen. It's like very celebratory of life vibes. The thing is, I can't 100% confirm if the two individuals are the same person, or if they're connected. I've been unable to find any news reports or any credible source that would confirm this. What I did find was this TikTok account. What's interesting about it is that right around the time that the hospital videos went viral online, sometime during the early months of 2025, this TikToker began posting videos of him and his friend that had just passed away. In the caption of this very video, it says, "May God have mercy on you, Saloom." If you remember from earlier, the alleged name of the zombie person was Jaden Saloom. In another sad TikTok, mourning the loss of his friend, the same friend that was seen in those other videos I was showing, the caption says, "Salom, why did you forgive me and go alone, but take me and you to heaven together daily? Why did you forgive me alone?" Of course, this translation is not the most accurate thing in the world, but that's already two TikToks that have the name Salom. This is the same name that's been spread around since the start of the search. And here it is in the caption of a video, about a guy who died at the exact same time the zombie video went viral.
If this is confusing to you, if I'm saying too many words, then let me quickly explain everything, and then I'll get into my final thoughts on the origins of the video.
At the start of the year, videos were coming out of people mourning the loss of a young guy. They are crying in the streets, they're holding memorials, it feels like a big deal. Next, I found a TikTok account of a person who was friends with this young guy. On that account, it has many videos of him and his friend. In the captions of some of these videos, he calls his friend Saloom, the alleged name of the guy in the hospital videos.
During all of this, during the same time that this guy passed away, the zombie video would also surface and go viral. I don't think the timing of everything is a coincidence. Here's what I think happened.
Personally, the individual in the hospital videos heavily resembles Saloom. I found many other TikToks of Saloom, and the more I look at them, the more he matches with the guy in the hospital gown. Both of them have the same length of dreads, they are both brown-skinned, and the fact they both went viral at the same time is pretty evident of something. Not just this, but I found multiple TikToks that show people at Saloom's gravesite. He was buried at the largest cemetery in the world, the Wadi al-Salam Cemetery in Iraq. The language spoken in the country of Iraq, along with the language spoken by Saloom's friend on TikTok, is Arabic. This is relevant because the language on the hospital bed in the zombie videos is Arabic.
Because of all of the information I've just given, I feel pretty confident that these are the same people. Not only do they resemble one another, they both went viral at the same time and are both in Arabic spoken settings. But there's still one question that I've yet to answer, and that is what happened to Saloom? This is a whole nother rabbit hole that I can't find any concrete definitive answers on, but I do have a feeling. A, Saloom tried leaving the world on his own terms, by setting himself on fire. And B, he was in a car accident or some other incident that involves fire.
Something that I noticed in every comment section of Saloom's memorial videos is that the comments are very merciful. 99% of these commenters are begging God to be merciful on Saloom. They are literally pleading for mercy on his soul. It could just be a difference in culture, but usually when someone dies as a result of a car accident or something similar to that, the immediate public reaction isn't to be merciful. Of course, when anyone dies in any sort of accident, it's going to be upsetting, but I typically don't see people asking for God's mercy on somebody when they pass away from an accident. On the other hand, when a person decides to take their own life, that's where I see a lot of grieving people pleading with God for that person to be forgiven, to have mercy on them despite what they did. It's going to be a big deal in any religion, but the heavy majority of Muslims believe that suicide is a cardinal sin, one of the worst things that you can do because you're taking away the gift of life. So if Saloom really did do that by setting himself on fire, it's reasonable that his passing sparked so much outrage, especially in a primarily Islamic country. He was young, handsome, probably well liked by hundreds of thousands of people, and that would explain why the reaction to his death is so big and so merciful. It would also explain the big protests in the streets, to not only celebrate his life and his passing, but to also plead with God to let him into heaven despite his actions.
There's a big chance that I'm wrong about everything and that I'm just a stupid person and know nothing, but I truly feel like I put the puzzle together at least a little bit. If anyone has the full story or a credible source or something, then be sure to leave it in the comment section. Regardless, rest in peace to Saloom, and if he's not the same person in the zombie video, then rest in peace to that individual too. Because of YouTube's guidelines and me wanting to make money and put food on the table, I'm gonna have to censor a heavy majority of the next reel.
And if you want something to happen to you and
It starts out with the woman sitting on the back of a trailer, talking into a microphone. Seconds later, an abrupt explosion happens, setting the woman on fire. A motorcyclist exits the trailer, while the lady on fire falls to the ground, seemingly unconscious. To anybody in the comments section who's complaining about not having any actual disturbing videos, then here you go. There's a human being experiencing bodily pain, like extreme bodily pain. That's pretty disturbing, I think, so, you know, there you go, you're welcome. Thankfully, I didn't have to do any searching because the top comment explains everything. This is Anthea Turner, and this happened in 1989 in England. The motorcycle that zoomed past her had fireworks. She survived and successfully sued. Anthea Turner is a 65-year-old English TV personality. She's mostly famous for being a television presenter. She's hosted many award shows and things of that nature. As you just heard me say, Anthea did survive the accident, and you would never be able to tell that she had gone through that, considering she was pretty much exploding. Like the comment said, the footage was taken from a 1989 television broadcast, where Anthea was hosting for a children's TV series. The series was called Up to You, and it aired live on BBC One every Saturday morning. On July 15th, 1989, the show would be going as usual, and I'll let Anthea Turner tell the story for herself.
The big idea was that I would pick up from London and say, well, I'm supposed to be taking part in a motorbike display, but I can't see any motorbikes. And there was a lorry which had black sugar paper, and the motorbike at that point would be queued and would come flying out of the paper, and that's where sadly it went a little bit wrong, because the person who was queuing the motorbike mistook my cue to speak as the cue to ask the motorbike to fly out of the back of the van, and of course I'm still sitting on the tailgate. And if you want something to happen—
As you heard her say, the incident happened because of a miscommunications error. Long story short, Anthea recovered from her injuries, she sued the BBC and won. I think she sued them twice actually, but I don't remember the second lawsuit's reasoning. And she's probably living life as usual. I saw her Instagram, she looks pretty chill, so shout out to Anthea Turner, I'm glad you're alive. You were a few seconds away from being on Live Leak, but you're not, so that's a good thing. Oh, and one last thing regarding this, by the way. I found this Reddit post that says the full broadcast from July 15th, 1989, it's lost media. So to all the lost media heads out there, take what you will. I know you guys just got super wet from hearing that, so lost media guys, go find this video. Reel number 4 is probably the most fascinating of the bunch.
Come on! Come on, Link! Let's go! A tad bit bossy, aren't you, mister?
Similar to the last entry, I was able to find the original video from someone in the comments. It's so funny that this is just Rhett and Link. Where can I find this? This shit is incredible. Rhett and Link's Night of Terror.
Thanks to this person's comment on Instagram, I went to YouTube, looked up Rhett and Link's Night of Terror, and there it was.
This appears to be a collage of scary Halloween TikToks made by Rhett and Link of Good Mythical Morning.
And at the 17-minute and 11-second mark, we find out that the scary Amish figure in the reel is just Link. Then, at around 18 minutes and 10 seconds, the clip shown in the reel plays out at a much higher quality.
Come on! Come on, Link! Let's go!
A tad bit bossy, aren't you, mister?
I personally like the reel's quality more because of how crappy it looks. It's very low res, which makes it more surreal and more funny, in my opinion. But yeah, this short film came out back in October of 2021. It's very creative, and rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Rest in peace, Pop Smoke.
Rest in peace, who?
Pop Smoke. See, I'm hip to that. Got a brand new whip, just hopped in.
The first time I saw the following video, it creeped me out just a little bit.
Daisy, Daisy, give me your answer too. I'm crazy, all for the love.
Unlike the other entries on this list that are intentionally scary or flat out disturbing, this video has a case of Obey the Walrus syndrome, and I'll explain what that means later on. It's basically a video of a person sitting down and hitting some dance moves, while some children are also dancing. This seems to be a family function of sorts. That's what the environment looks like to me. The video was posted onto Instagram on August 10th of this year, but judging from the account that uploaded this, I don't believe that this is their original video. So, as usual, you know the drill, I took a random frame and pasted it into Google to get matching results. From doing this, it led me to a few different reposts on YouTube Shorts. And what I noticed about these re-uploads is a TikTok watermark to a profile called Koi8s. It's entirely possible that this TikTok account is the original poster, so let's check. I found the account along with their upload of the video. Unfortunately, this was not the origins, as Koi8s on TikTok is a content farm. This was a dead end. I kept looking at different uploads of the video, trying to find any little difference that would give me any hints or leads. And then there was this one. A Facebook reel that has a higher saturation than all of the other videos. It doesn't have that low saturated, bleak, cold, scary filter on it. While this reel didn't help me out that much, it was a good sign, because having the video in the original color is one step closer to finding the origins. What I did next was search different frames of this version on Google, and from this, I finally found the biggest lead. I was taken to another Facebook reel, and at the very end, this TikTok account popped up. I went to TikTok, searched up the account name, and thankfully it was still around. At first glance, this doesn't appear to be another content farm. There's a normal guy in the profile picture, and if we scroll down, we can see ordinary videos of this guy's life. Then something caught my eye. The person in this video heavily resembles the one in the viral dancing clip. As I kept looking, the person in this video also resembled that dancing individual. They have the same face. It would all come together as I kept scrolling down and found a TikTok published on October 10th, 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. We got the origins to the freaking video.
We got him.
From what I can tell, the person in the TikTok goes by the name Yassine, as that's what he's commonly referred to in the captions of anything that features him. The only place that I could find any original Yassine content was the TikTok profile that uploaded the now infamous video. I don't know much about Yassine as far as who they are and what they do, because I don't speak Arabic, real shocker, but by looking at the comment sections of these videos though, he seems to have a pretty good reputation, as most people have a lot of positive things to say about the guy. I found this TikTok that shows Yassine in the same outfit at presumably the same function he was getting down at. There's this one that shows him dancing in a Joker 2019 shirt. It's pretty epic, pretty wholesome. I know I already showed this just a second ago, but this is what he looks like without hair. I'm not sure why he had to shave his luscious locks, or how he even achieved to have such nice hair, but yeah, he looks pretty good. And that would be the last TikTok of Yassine on his page. That was back in 2022, and I have no other information about him since. If he has any social media presence or there's any way to see what he's doing, then leave a comment. Hope he's doing good. I did reach out to the guy's Instagram, the guy's TikTok page, asking what Yassine has been up to, but he never responded. The last thing I have to say about entry number 5 goes back to what I said at the beginning. If you remember, I said that this video has a case of Obey the Walrus syndrome. If you don't know what I mean, Obey the Walrus was a popular shock horror video in the early 2010s. The video was of a creepy person walking around with very scary music put over it, and while it was unnerving to watch during the time it came out, I myself, along with many others, were terrified of this video. There's a problem with Obey the Walrus. The problem being, the person seen in Obey the Walrus, they didn't ask to be in that video. They never got permission, and they were never asked to be portrayed as some sort of monster. What happened was, some guy on the internet took footage from a documentary made about Sandy Crisp. Sandy was a transgender drag queen who lived with polio. Her life was super crazy, tons of bad stuff happened to her at a young age, on top of having polio. But you know, she made something of herself. She became a cult icon in the LGBTQ scene during a time when that wasn't as accepted as it is now. And you think it would end happily ever after. But that brings us back to Obey the Walrus. Despite the music playing in the background, this isn't actually a scary video. The footage is, like I said, taken from a documentary about someone who quite literally did their best to fit into a world that didn't accept them at every point. Yet, some guy decided to sample some footage from that documentary and turn Sandy Crisp into an internet horror phenomenon. What sucks most is that Sandy was a real person with real feelings, and she had to deal with constant harassment from the video till the day she passed away in early 2021.
I'm not a walrus, I'm a human being. And I would appreciate it if people would recognize that. So if you all would please stop posting negative comments online, I would highly appreciate it. Thank you.
So what I'm trying to say with this long-winded rant is that it's harmful to take innocent videos of people who may not look quote-unquote normal and turn them into something intentionally scary. Sandy Crisp was a person who got screwed over by the world in so many ways, and the last thing they ever wanted to do was scare people. And while I won't speak for Yassine, I have a feeling that they don't want to be compared to Billy or the Nun or anything scary for that matter, because they weren't doing anything scary to begin with. They were having fun, they were dancing. You should be agreeing with my point. It's not a hot take, and hopefully we see less of this in the future. I just think it's harmful. I couldn't imagine being one of these people in like a scary video just because like I look weird or something. That would suck. It's not nice. For the last video, I thought I'd do something a bit more lighthearted. I've already discussed violent injuries, so let's end it off with something wholesome. I think we talk about something nice for once. I'm sure all of you watching have at some point seen the following video.
Spirit, lead me where my trust is without borders. Let me walk upon the water wherever you may.
I know this clip feels like it's existed for the longest time, way before IG Reels was ever a thing, but it came on my feed. It reminded me that this was a thing that happened one time in history. But does anyone really know the context of the clip? The first thing I came across when looking for answers was a 2-year-old post from the Markiplier subreddit. Does anyone actually know the story behind this? The top comment, which has 270 likes, making this very credible, says, "It was after he spent time with his family in Korea a few years ago, and when he was going back home again, his little cousin hugged him in the airport." I don't know about you guys, but that seems like a pretty reasonable explanation, although it doesn't explain why the kid is motorboating Mark. I mean, if I had the chance to do that, I would, I'm sure you would too, but I'm curious why the kid wanted to do that. Looking around further, I couldn't find any links to the original source, so I thought of something. If the Reddit comment is true about Mark being in a Korean airport, I bet I could find some clues from Markiplier's old Korean vlogs. Considering that the earliest uploads of the memes don't go past 2020, I feel like this had to have happened a few years prior to that. So I began with Mark's 2018 Korea trip.
Look over there.
In September 2018, Mark took a trip to South Korea to see his family. In one of these mini vlogs, you can see Mark and presumably one of his younger relatives playing around. While the kid resembles the one in the meme, I'm not 100% sure. Along with this, Mark's haircut, along with the kid's haircut, don't really match the hugging video, especially Mark's haircut, it's too long. Because of that, I decided to look into the 2019 South Korea trip. The same kid from the 2018 vlogs brutally beats Mark in an arm wrestling match, and this time, both of them have similar haircuts to the airport video. I'm feeling pretty confident that the kid right here is the one in the memes, but we still don't have the original source. I looked at Mark's Instagram post when he was on that 2019 Korea trip and found this picture of him and his cousin. This is likely the guy standing next to Mark in the airport video. Unfortunately, the tagged account to his cousin's Instagram page is no longer available, so I wasn't able to see if he was the one that originally uploaded the meme. But then, when I had no other places to look, I remembered Markiplier's mom. Momiplier. Markiplier's mom likes to post on Instagram, a lot. She has nearly 10,000 posts. If Mark's Instagram didn't have the original clip, and if his cousin probably didn't have the clip either, then Mark's mom almost had to have taken the video. I kid you not, for the next 20 to 30 minutes, I scrolled down until I got to her posts from 2019. To my dismay, the hugging video was nowhere to be found. It wasn't until April 30th, 2020, that Mark's mom posted the now hilarious video. A month later, she'd also post a video from the same day. The case for this one is now closed. The Redditors were right all along as usual. I can finally rest. I can finally go to sleep with my Manta sleep mask somewhere. It's somewhere, I think it's in my bedroom, my Manta sleep mask. But now I can finally rest. Thanks to the person on screen, they sent me the following video. By the way, feel free to give me a follow on Instagram, and if you DM me a scary video, I might get it in a future video, so be sure to do that.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it.
As you just saw, the footage shows a woman standing outside of her house while some uncanny noises are blasting in the background. This felt very reminiscent of those old trumpet coming from the sky YouTube videos, which used to scare me a lot back in the day. The first clue I had to finding the cause of this strange noise was that it apparently happened in Victorville, California. I thought this was going to be a pretty clear-cut case, so I looked up loud noises in Victorville, California, and came across a news article on the situation. Published on November 18th, 2025, it talks about mysterious loud booms that have been heard and felt in the area. The noises were so powerful that it shook multiple homes and left people quite disturbed. Unfortunately, the article doesn't have any definitive answer for the strange phenomenon. After I read that, I found another post from the same publication, this time from February 24th, 2025. It pretty much says the same thing as the previous article, still having no answers to the mysterious sounds coming from the sky. I even dug a little deeper and came across a third article about noises in the Victorville area. This one was made back in 2016, and as you can imagine, there was no official explanation for any of the sounds. Despite there being multiple witness accounts of these bizarre occurrences and tons of media coverage on it, we are somehow left with more questions than answers. So I decided to go back to the Instagram reel. People in the comment section are claiming that it's a nearby power plant doing noisy power plant things, and there is one in Victorville, so it's not out of the realm of possibilities. Even though power plants can make a lot of loud sounds, it doesn't exactly sound as brutal and terrifying as the one in the reel.
Woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called.
The next thing I did was try and find the original upload of the video, which led me to this TikTok. Now, the TikTok isn't the original video, as there's a bunch of text on the screen, but I did notice something in the comment section. A lot of people were claiming that the sound on the TikTok was actually taken from someone else's video. Because of this, I went to the search bar and looked up the words that were spoken in the TikTok, such as, "So we all just got woken up from some disturbing sounds."
Just got woken up to some disturbing sound.
To my surprise, this worked, and the original TikTok was right there.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Are we breathing in something we shouldn't be breathing in right now?
As you can see, this was recorded 2,000 miles away from Victorville, California. As it turns out, these noises were happening all the way in Pace, Florida. The caption to this one says, "Scary noise. I was absolutely terrified. I found out it came from some plants nearby. I really thought it was my time, and the whole neighborhood was outside like, what is happening?" The person who uploaded this TikTok is just a normal lady, and she's come out a bunch of times to explain the weird backstory, like here. So you can forget about what I said earlier about power plants not being the cause of the noise, because that's really what it was the whole time. And not just that, none of this happened in Victorville, California. Somebody just took the audio from this video and then said it was happening in Victorville. Although, we still don't have an answer for all the weird stuff that people have been hearing over there. So hopefully it's just a power plant because Victorville might be cooked. The second reel was sent in by one of you guys, so here it is.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear.
What is that? Mom? Oh my Who's? God. Hey! Ah! Jesus! Move! Get the kids! Go!
Now, the video is pretty creepy and unnerving, but if you couldn't tell, this is 99.999% AI, I'm pretty sure. On the off chance that this isn't AI and is a really well put together short film, then let me know in the comments and I'll retract my statements. Unfortunately, common sense tells me that this is an AI generated video, as it feels too uncanny, I don't know, you can just kind of feel it. You can feel it in your day. I'm a bit conflicted when it comes to AI generated videos, especially cool, scary ones like this, because there's obviously the negative environmental effects of creating this type of content. You know, that's all bad.
1/15 of a teaspoon. That's how much water the average single interaction with ChatGPT uses, according to Sam Altman, the boss of OpenAI.
But then, you know, sometimes the end result can look really neat. I've noticed that a lot of scary videos made with AI, they can capture that surreal, like sluggish, dreamlike imagery that we have in our nightmares. I know that's such a cornball thing to say because AI bad, AI cringe, and guys, don't think I'm glazing AI here, but it can be really visually fascinating in my opinion. Like this Instagram page right here, they post exclusively AI horror content, and I don't know, some of this stuff is really interesting.
Mom, where were you? Why didn't you save me? Why didn't you protect me?
At the end of the day, I do prefer my horror content made by humans with a soul. Don't worry guys, I'm not an AI glazer. I thought I'd give my 2 cents on everything and debunk that scary reel. It is AI, so there's no origins to be found. On the flip side of what I was just talking about, I thought I'd give some credit to a really good shorts creator called Spanger Lookery. I probably said that wrong. I was sent a video of his by one of you guys, and I got super disturbed. I highly encourage you guys to check out this dude's content. It's made by a human, as you can tell, and he's really good at what he does. He also has a YouTube channel where you can find many of his horror short films. This sounds like a paid advertisement. No, this guy didn't pay me, but yeah, shout out to human creators. You guys rule. The next reel is one that I came across when trying to passively scroll through some badass clavicular edits.
Do you guys know about bone smashing? Bone smashing? It's according to Wolff's Law. So like when you break down a bone, it grows back stronger.
Here it is. Thankfully for me, this is a rare case where I actually know the origins of the video. The clip was taken from the 1989 experimental horror film, Begotten. At exactly 2 minutes into the movie, you can see the part that was shown in the reel. If you want to watch this for yourself, if this looks interesting to you, it's actually on YouTube for free, but it's not the most exciting or enjoyable movie, let me warn you. For those that are interested, Begotten is one of the most infamous cult films of all time, as it's praised and equally hated for its disturbing avant-garde imagery. The entire film is in black and white, there's no spoken words or dialogue, and it's incredibly hard to make out what's happening most of the time. Despite watching this movie before, I've never actually known what it's about, so I read the synopsis, and it's apparently about the death of religion, the abuse of nature by man, and a nihilistic outlook on what life ultimately is. This movie is awesome. I think it's pretty funny how the two actors listed on Google for this movie are God Killing Himself, played by Brian Salzberg, and Son of Earth by Stephen Charles Barry. I don't know why, I just find these roles to be really funny for some reason. Before we get to the last reel, I'm sorry for talking about Begotten so much, it's just so interesting to me. I thought I'd play a few clips from the time that me and my friend watched it together. We only made it halfway through before I got bored and rage quit, but there's probably some funny moments on here.
Jaden Salad's back in the building. Here we go. See, this is the thing I was stressing over because I didn't want to watch this by myself. Dude, I'm starting to love Chris Chan. She's really grown on me. I love the video where she's getting handcuffed. And is this the merge, Christian? Yes, the merge is currently happening. Okay, no hate to this YouTube channel, but Plagued Moth, you know, God bless him. I hope he's doing well. I hope he has a good day. I don't like his YouTube channel because he talks about, you know, gore videos. What happened to DaBaby? He shot a guy in Walmart. DaBaby shoots a guy in Walmart. So what you're looking at, this is actually a statement on capitalism. And you may be thinking, how does this represent capitalism? Well, you're just not smart enough to get it. That's really all I have to say. I'm like one of those moms that say video games cause like school shootings. Like, this is the reason someone would go off the walls. This is horrible. Okay, if you show this movie to like the wrong person, you're gonna like really mess that person up. I'm just saying, this is a boring movie. I quit. I can't take this anymore. I'm not sitting through the rest of this movie. I'm not sitting through the rest of this either. I'm down to talk. I'm not watching the rest. Am I finna hit a spacebar smash? You know.
This is the last reel for today's video.
Fuck you laughing.
I personally don't find this one to be all that disturbing, but a lot of people in the comment section were pretty freaked out by this guy's face.
I'm actually really scared.
Is that a real person?
Close the window, now.
I started the search by doing what I always do, and using the Google Lens tool. Thanks to this, it found a matching video and led me to a re-upload posted by the guy who's wearing the mask. His caption says, "I keep seeing my video everywhere, on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram." Here's the full video at a higher quality.
Fuck you laughing at? Y'all need to get out my face. No, you is tripping, motherfucker. Your teeth stink.
I scrolled through his page for a little bit to try and find the original upload, and came across multiple other videos of him wearing the mask.
Go up the street.
The people that have commented on these videos don't seem to be a fan of it that much. They seem pretty freaked out. After scrolling through his page for a few more minutes, I found the original video. It was posted all the way back on September 21st, 2021, which leaves me a little confused as to how it went viral only recently. Maybe this has always been a viral video, but I personally haven't seen it until around making this. Anyway, if you're curious about who the guy behind the mask is, no, not Dream. His name is Marvin Rahim. You can find him on Instagram. He posts a lot of skits and a lot of dirt bike videos, if that's your sort of thing. Before I get to the end of today's video, and I apologize, it's a bit of a shorter video I feel like, I thought I would tell you guys about something crazy that happened. If you remember in the last episode of this series, there was a reel of a lady that was walking inside of an apartment building, and a lot of people were pretty spooked out by it. Well, I don't have any updates regarding that clip or the lady, but I was recently in LA to hang out with some friends, and while driving around with Brugli, I realized that we were in the same neighborhood as the one in that video. We were just driving around, trying to get somewhere, and I noticed that my surroundings felt a little familiar. And then it clicked that I had just been going through these exact streets on Google Street View a few months ago. Sadly, we didn't go to the exact apartment building seen in that one scary reel, but yeah, just a crazy coincidence that just driving through LA, me and Jared Brugli were in the same exact spot as somewhere I've talked about.
You may have seen this video before, or at least an edited version of it.
Please go check outside your home. Please go check outside your home. Please go check outside your home.
There's even been videos where people would dress up as this scary dolphin guy, but those were never related to the original clip. By looking up dolphin muzzle on YouTube, you'll see the original upload, and it dates back to December 30th, 2007. Upon watching the video, I realized that the clip is much more innocent than the chopped and screwed remixes make it out to be. It's just some guy showing off his realistic dolphin makeup effects, and that's really it. On the video's watermark, and during the outro, you can see text that says North Fur Effects. By going to this website, you can see that they specialize in creating special effects makeup and prosthetics, primarily revolving around animals. You can even find the page where you can buy the dolphin muzzle for yourself, if that's something you're into. Going back to the YouTube channel that uploaded the dolphin video, it's full of prosthetic makeup tutorials and showcases of their products. I will say that a lot of these older videos are super uncanny and unsettling, but as the years progressed and the camera quality improved, it did get less spooky.
Now, many people have pointed out that older videos are creepy, and you are absolutely right. They are. A big chunk of that was due to the fact that they were recorded on really old first-gen digital cameras. They were recorded in like 2004, 2006. In that time frame, there weren't very many good digital cameras on the market.
So this video's origins are pretty harmless. It all traces back to a guy named Jason at North Fur FX in Canada, and he just has a hobby and job that requires him to make special effects prosthetics that sometimes look pretty creepy.
Hello, this is the dolphin prosthetic.
As far as the edited version of the dolphin muzzle video, I don't know who made those or what the intentions were. There's been many variants of making the dolphin clip into something scary, and I can see why this would be chosen as some sort of creepypasta Momo thing. Also, I'd like to give some credit to the homie Morbid for Fun. He has an entire video about the dolphin muzzle, so I'd recommend you watch that if you haven't already. This is what dying feels like.
This is what dying feels like. Whoa, you really, there's like white, there's like only white in the lens once. Oh, whoa. You broke it. Whoa. What in the world?
Now, I know that this video isn't disturbing or scary like the rest of the videos I'll be talking about today, but I just had to include it in here. I've been seeing this meme for the longest time, and hopefully I'm not the only one who wanted to know its deep, dark backstory. So let's go. The original upload of the video was uploaded on May 21st, 2011, and is called Kid Breaks Friend's Camera with Airsoft Gun. The description reads, "This is really funny, we break the lens on my camera, wash my forehead when I freak out." The comment section on this video is also turned off, most likely due to YouTube automatically disabling comments whenever it detects that a child uploaded a video. When going to the channel that uploaded this, there's no other videos to be seen. The description of the channel says, "I made a video, it went viral, I did other stuff here too, it's pretty cringy, I'm not making it public." The name of this channel is New Channel Namco Let's Plays, but the original name, as you can see in the URL, was Spiky Gloveman 0909. Remember this for the rest of this entry. When looking up Namco Let's Plays, a channel with 400 subscribers and no videos comes up. This channel has also been wiped from the internet, there's nothing here. So going back to the Spiky Gloveman 0909 page, the one that has the airsoft video, I decided to just put that name into YouTube and look it up. That's when I found another Spiky Gloveman YouTube channel, and you can definitely tell it's the same Spiky Gloveman that made this because the name on this one is New Channel, link in description of trailer. The videos on this channel are all private, but there's 2 videos that are still up. Some let's play of a game called Wubsy's Amazing Adventure. What's interesting to me about this is that these 2 very amateur Let's Play videos both have over 1 million views, but don't have more than 100 comments or even 1,000 likes on either video. This isn't really relevant to the search, but I did think that was kind of weird. At this point, I couldn't find anything on YouTube, so I looked up Spiky Gloveman on Google, and some videos from a channel called Spiky Vinyl Man would pop up. This channel is full of songs just played off of different records, but I sorted all the videos by popular and then clicked on this one. The video is of Weird Al Yankovic's Like a Surgeon, that's not too important, but the description provided something very significant, a website for the Spiky Gloveman himself. The website is no longer active, so as usual, I put it into the Wayback Machine, and thankfully, there were many archives of the site. The earliest capture of it goes back to March of 2013, 2 years after the airsoft video.
Hi, I'm Spiky Gloveman. I want to be a director. I am a YouTube partner, except I don't have a brand channel, so if you want to set up a partnership with me, just send me an inbox letter. If you're confused now, don't worry. So am I. Let me get something straight. My dashboard says I'm a partner. I have the ability for custom thumbnails. I might be able to post long videos. I have ads. I monetize. But I don't know who is partnered with me.
Unfortunately, all of the pages on the site, aside from the homepage, were never archived on the Wayback Machine, although there was one that still worked. When clicking on Spiky Gloveman, it would take you here, where you can see a large catalog of videos that were uploaded in the middle months of 2013. As you can already imagine, none of these videos are up. These are all lost media. What is worth mentioning is that when you click on the Spiky Gloveman tab, a few more options popped up. Spiky Game Man, Spiky Vinyl Man, and more. The only channel that remains in 2024 and still has uploads is the Spiky Vinyl Man page that we looked at earlier, and the rest has been lost to time. I tried to get more answers in regards to the airsoft video because I have autism and I'm just curious, so I actually reached out to Spiky Gloveman, but I have gotten no response. So I'll leave it at that. Don't try doing any investigative journalism yourself. I've got all the answers that I could possibly get. Going back to the video, I would like to ask a pretty important question. What happened after the clip ended? Since we don't know what took place after the camera gets shot, we can only be left with making some assumptions. My personal theory is that Spiky Gloveman got into a fit of rage and then got into an altercation with the kid who has the BB gun. During the confrontation, I'd imagine that it gets pretty heated and that BB gun kid injures Spiky Gloveman in the process. Sometime in 2015, this video started to go viral online. This clip was of a supposed floating city spotted in China. For some reason, this really freaked me out back then. It's kind of like the thing you do as a kid. You find out about the Bermuda Triangle or sinking sand, and it just feels like a really big problem that needs to be solved in that moment. I'm not exactly sure why this floating city seemed like a big threat, but it just did. Anyway, when these videos started to go around, there was a lot of speculation on whether it was real or not. This happened twice, once in some large city, then in a smaller place still in China. Freaked me out. I seriously don't think the clouds just pop up that way to look like buildings. This was a parallel universe or something. No way this was just a coincidence. I knew about this when it came out. People started freaking out because it didn't match any known city. Plus, people swore they saw people in the buildings looking back at them. Some sources claimed that these buildings seen in the sky were the result of something called a fata morgana. This is explained as an optical phenomenon that occurs when rays of light bend as they pass through layers of different temperatures. Whatever scientific label you'd want to slap on this, it doesn't matter because this video is not real. First off, there's many articles that claim that Chinese citizens were making reports about the floating city, but where are the reports at? Where are the alternate angles of this event happening? There are none. It's not the result of some mirage, it's more than likely the result of, believe it or not, video editing. YouTube veteran, Captain Disillusion, had made a really good video on the floating city back when it was blowing up, and he makes a pretty strong case for this being fake.
There. Why, that looks real enough to be explained as a mirage on CNN. Oh wait, it was.
So after seeing how easy it was to make a floating city of your own, I'm definitely leaning on the side of Captain Disillusion. This also brings me to a quick point that I'd like to make. Have you ever noticed that ghost videos or paranormal event videos like the Floating City are way uncommon to see these days? Like, I don't know the last time I saw a clip that tried to convince me that ghosts are real, and it's probably because the standards for camera quality have gotten so much higher, and it's way more difficult to fake something in 4K. I just thought I'd bring that up. Back then, like on a weekly basis, I was getting convinced that there were fairies floating around, there was gnome sightings, and you just don't see those anymore.
Okay, give me back the camera.
Candle Cove was a pretty popular creepypasta that was written in 2009. The story is about a bunch of people reminiscing on a forum board about some show that they remember watching in their childhoods. The show was called Candle Cove, and everybody on the forums remembers it to be pretty disturbing. The show was about some puppets who would go on various adventures while traveling on a boat. They're like some sort of pirates. Then at some point during a certain episode, everything would just go bad.
I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had, where the opening jingle ended, the show faded in from black, and all the characters were there. But the camera was just cutting to each of their faces, and they were just screaming. The puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically, and just all screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it.
I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that that was an episode. Now, just as a reminder in case you missed it, all of this is fictional. This is from a short story creepypasta made by Chris Straub. There was never a real-life Candle Cove, but there would be fan-made depictions of it on YouTube. There is a really well-made version that accurately depicts the Candle Cove story, and then there's this one. I vaguely remember watching this as a kid, but I'd imagine that it traumatized other children in the early 2010s. The reason I've brought all of this up is to simply tell you the origins to every clip in this version of Candle Cove, because a lot of these videos were pretty unknown. I found a Reddit post from 4 years ago, and the poster was wondering about the clip seen in Candle Cove. Thankfully, the comment section quickly dug up the answers somehow, so here you go. Shout out to Mr. Crazy Bones on Reddit for all of this information. The skeleton comes from a YouTube video called Prague Skeleton Marionette. The crying child comes from Remy Fake Crying. This thing came from Bobby the White-Nosed Red Hat Merry Christmas. And the original little flailing puppet video, as far as I know, is lost media. But there are other uploads of the same puppet, like the one seen in this video, so there's that. The Candle Cove Screamer was made up of different YouTube clips that are pretty harmless. You can also find the screaming sound effects on freesound.com. The last video I'll be talking about is probably the one with the most mystery behind it. There's tons of speculation over what the backstory of this video is. I'll just let it play so you know what I'm talking about. I'd like to start off by saying a lot of the information I'll be giving you is from Scare Theater's video over Gabriela Rico Jimenez. I'm just wanting to bring it up again and talk about it myself because this video has always fascinated me and creeped me out. With all of that being said, the girl in this video is supposedly called Gabriela Rico Jimenez, an alleged supermodel from Mexico. In the video, she talks about being freed from somewhere and making claims about the elite consuming human flesh and eating people. She would accuse Disney, the royal family, and one of the wealthiest people in Mexico, Carlos Slim, having knowledge about her being captive and all of the cannibalism stuff. She then gets taken away by the cops and supposedly gets erased from existence. Whenever you look up her name, the only result is the clip from her outside of the hotel freaking out. There's no other videos of her, no pictures of her from when she modeled, nothing. This would lead a lot of people to believe that the quote-unquote higher-ups would do a good job at deleting her online existence, making sure that no one would ever find out who she truly was. The problem with this is that if they did such a good job at erasing her from the face of the earth and the internet, you would think that they would also delete the viral video of her making the crazy accusations. To put it as it probably is, Gabriela Rico Jimenez was never taken away by the elite and was never even a model to begin with. With the lack of evidence that Gabriela ever had a modeling career, the two news anchors that first covered the video never mentioned anything of her being some sort of model or celebrity. They pretty much said that Gabriela was recently released from jail for having a similar outburst in public. Shortly after the first arrest, she would then go outside of a hotel lobby, have another manic episode, to which she'd be arrested again. In Scare Theater's video, he stumbled upon an article that was written around a decade after the incident, and found reports of a woman called Gabriela Rico Jimenez. It said that Gabriela was 29 years old, which would align perfectly if this was the same Gabriela seen in the video. Along with this, the article says that this 29-year-old woman was seized because she didn't know where her house was and she was lost. From the age, name, and mental confusion, it's more than likely that Gabriela Rico Jimenez is just a mentally ill person, not a person that was held captive by the elitist Pizzagate hierarchy. Lastly, this article that Scare Theater had found features a picture of this woman, and after putting that picture and a screenshot of Gabriela into a facial comparison software, it gave a 98% match, and even said that it was very likely that these people are the same person. The whereabouts of Gabriela in 2024 are unknown, but as of 2017 when this article was written, Gabriela was alive and probably unwell, but she was never game-ended or kidnapped. The first entry I'll be talking about is something that I first watched in middle school, so not exactly a childhood memory, but it still counts. From what I remember, the video is shot on a handheld camera and follows a night out at some restaurant. After a few minutes of people eating and having fun at a table, a mysterious lady starts to act strangely in the background. In reality, I think it was just a random Asian woman, but something about her face really unsettled me. As the video progresses, everyone eating out at the restaurant would then walk around the streets late at night and make their way to an underground subway station. It's at this point that they also run into the scary mystery lady, the same one who was acting all weird at the restaurant. Everything I just said is all I remember from the video, so now it's time to give a live reaction to it all these years later. I'd like to also give a shout out to my buddy Hunter. He's the one that put this on the living room TV during a sleepover. So this dude was wanting to pick up a girl, go out having drinks. Just some people having a good time. I thought I was drunk and could not see her eyes. She looked so ugly, and I'm just so glad it was not one of the pretty girls there, thank God. So they're all ripping cigs, getting a little buzz. I think right around here is when the lady in the background starts to appear. Yeah, I saw her. She's in the very back. Dude, I remember the first time I watched this, it was so bad. Like, I was so scared. My buddy Hunter had put this on the TV at a sleepover, and it was not fun. The girl near the window was ugly as hell. Some of us thought it was funny, but she just did not look right to me. But I was there to try and impress my girl. I think the thing that really tripped me out about that lady in the back, she's just very pale. And not to mention that she is, her skull is shaped weirdly, a little bit weird. So everyone's talking crap about her. She's all ugly, I guess. I'm so drunk I would take a ghost. I think she heard my drunk friend, and she followed us all the way to the subway. She was standing over there and she just jumped in front of the train. Yes, I think the video ends with her jumping in front of the train. I forgot about that part. Yeah, she starts to like do the... But in reality, it really is just like an Asian lady. Like, I guess there isn't anything too scary about her. Real trap shit. But look, her head pops up in the corner. Yeah, look, her head pops up at the very end. So, as it turns out, this video was taken from a Japanese found footage horror film called Yura Hora. No, I'm not calling you a whore, that's the name of the movie. This found footage film came out in 2008 and was directed by a Japanese horror legend, Koji Shiraishi. I actually don't know what this movie is about, as I couldn't find any copies of the film with English subtitles, so I'm going to assume that it's a compilation of different found footage ghost tapes. I ended up seeing this IMDb review, and it pretty much says the same thing. Most of the short chapters in this anthology work as standalone little stories with their own ideas, supernatural or not. I'm yet to be disappointed by Shiraishi, and he sure as hell delivered here too. The film is only about 70 minutes long, with about a dozen chapters, meaning that most of them are about 5 to 10 minutes long. That's one of the reasons why this is so entertaining. There's no padding whatsoever, as you can bounce from one creepy idea to the next. Feel free to check out the movie on YouTube. It's called Yura Horror, and you can even watch the creepy train station part at around the 30-minute mark. With all of that said, this video was not real, fortunately or unfortunately, but it's still very creepy and very well made. Going back to the videos that are quote-unquote actually scary, I have this one that I've always called the Croatian homeless guy lost found footage. Something like that. The video starts out with two guys chilling in a park at night. They pretty much talk back and forth, testing out their new camera. At around the 1 minute mark, they spot a shadowy figure in the park and start zooming in on it. This will be the scary antagonist in the video. Just 30 seconds later, the figure is only a few steps away from the two guys. As we can see, it's a hunched over person with some sort of bag over their head. After a few cuts, the guys end up outside of some building, and we get a more clear shot of the scary person, and then he runs at the camera.
Kaj radi se, bože? Kaj radi? Ne znam. Ej, jel si ti u redu, onak? Oprosti, jel vam treba pomoć?
The video cuts one last time, and the boys enter a code to get inside what seems to be an apartment. Thinking they're safe, they walk to the elevator, and we get this jump scare. The video then cuts to black, and it ends. Looking back at it, this is obviously a group of friends coming together to create a short scary video, and it's alright, it's well made. As a kid, I remember thinking that this was the scariest thing, and always just wondering the backstory of these poor Croatian dudes who supposedly went missing after recording this found footage. Now, if you're wondering who's behind the video, I'm pretty sure that it's this channel, Darth Nixa. Not only do they have the most popular upload of the found footage, but there's some other things on their channel worth noticing. Apparently, this video took place and was found in Croatia. If we look at other videos on the Darth Nixa channel, we can see an alleged UFO sighting that also takes place in Croatia, along with Darth attending some sort of Croatian art performance concert. All of this would lead me to believe that Darth Nixa is some dude that lives in Croatia and that he's the one behind this scary video. My whole theory on everything is that Darth Nixa was a channel that started out posting whatever, Star Wars content, laser pointer reviews, World of Warcraft gameplay, and eventually, a homemade found footage video that was intended to scare people. They obviously succeeded. After this, they'd go back to uploading random content like more WoW and even hopping on the top 7 weird places on planet Earth type of niche. I'd imagine that those didn't do too well, judging off the view count, so Darth Nixa would go back to uploading more hoax videos, like real alien discovered in a lab, the creepy unexplained Finland footage, Best Christmas Songs 2015 edition. After seeing how bad that video flopped, we then go back to the real alien caught on tape, disturbing. This channel isn't too interesting, and I'm probably spending too much time talking about it, but the content on this is just so wide. We have hip-hop instrumentals, the best Christmas songs of 2015, Minecraft world records, laser pointer reviews, and of course, the scary stuff. Darth Nixa hasn't had a video in over 3 years, and I hope they're doing well, and maybe later this month we'll get a Best Christmas Songs 2024 edition.
I'm gonna go out there and look.
You've probably seen this video numerous times over the last decade. Similar to previous ones I've covered, like the American football video from part 1, there's something pretty unsettling about this. Obviously, I have to assume that monsters aren't real, meaning that this video is staged, hopefully, but the question still remains, who's behind this? I tried going to Reddit first, because there's usually some guy from years ago who's like solved a rabbit hole. Well, I stumbled onto a Reddit post from r/shitposting that says, "Can anyone help me find where this came from? It's a bit of an internet mystery with its origins." Despite getting over 10,000 upvotes and hundreds of comments, instead of answering the OP's question as to where this came from, everybody decided to be a silly Billy and do the exact opposite. Bro got venomed. That's so funny. Here's some Reddit gold. I never found a comment that truly answered who's behind the video, but thankfully, I found a post from 6 years ago on the Tip of My Tongue subreddit. I saw this clip in a video compilation, and I was wondering where it's from originally. Here you go. This happens almost every time I try to find something. Thanks to this random person on Reddit, we got the origins of the video. It all stems from a post on Twitter, uploaded on August 11th, 2017 at 2 a.m.
Alright, so I'm home alone, I'm hearing creepy sounds, and no, I'm not really home alone, I'm at my friend Nigo's house, and he's gone, he went to go run errands for his mom, so I'm at his house by myself, and it's really fucking scary. And I heard a noise. I heard a fucking noise.
The person who uploaded this goes by the name of The Strange Noah, and they're actually still active on X in 2025. I don't really know anything else about this individual. I don't think they have any other viral videos by the looks of it, which makes it more weird that they'd upload this in the first place. I also think that this could have been on Vine, if I'm not mistaken, so maybe this was a popular Vine and then they uploaded it to X. I'm not sure. Lastly, I figured I'd slow down the video since we have it in a higher quality. And it's not as elaborate as I thought it'd be. You can clearly see it's just a dude in an all-black costume with some scraggly hands. I tried finding the costume used in the video, but this was as close as I could get, minus the red eyes. A few months ago, I reminisced on the videos that quote-unquote ruined my childhood. One of the videos that used to freak me out was this right here. Yeah, let's just play it. That's loud. That was it? Yeah, I didn't like it. It's like a 7-second clip of a bunch of different scary stuff mashed together, but the part that intrigued me the most was this face. Once you see it, you'll almost never forget it. I could never put my finger down as to where it came from until I got this comment on my video. I know the beginning of the cursed video. It originated from a video called The Original by Colin Raff. Thanks to the commenter, One Carter Patty, I guess I found the origins to this face. The Original is a YouTube video made by someone called Colin Raff. It was uploaded on April 24th, 2020, and somehow only has 13,000 views, despite the 7-second mark's infamy. While the original use of the face is still unpleasant to look at, it's not as creepy as it was in the edited scary versions. Now I feel bad for being scared of the big-eyed guy. I didn't know he was simply just gaming happily. Not all of the questions are answered though, because I'd still like to know why a video like this was created, and who's behind it. So, let's get to know more about Colin Raff. He's had his YouTube channel since August 2013, but his first video was uploaded in August 2015. Almost all of his videos are animated in that surreal, bleak style, and he hasn't stopped, as his most recent upload was from 2 weeks ago. Half of his art seems to be nightmare fuel for the sake of being nightmare fuel, while the other half seems to take on a storyline with some sort of meaning. Even though Colin's YouTube channel was made in 2013, I came across an interview with him from October 2008, which means he's been at this for quite a minute. Some interesting takeaways is that Colin lives in Berlin, Germany. He's apparently a self-taught artist, which is impressive. He watches Lee Van Cleef shoot people whenever he gets artistic frustrations, and overall, he seems to be a pretty smart guy. He says that not being dead yet is his biggest inspiration for creating the art he makes, and that he'd not even describe his creations to those who aren't familiar with it, and I can't really blame him. I don't know much else about Colin aside from that interview, but he's on Bandcamp, as he makes all the spooky music in his videos. He's on Instagram, where he'll occasionally make posts using the guy. And he even daily uploads on TikTok. This dude has a better content grind than me. Before I get on to the next video, let me know if you guys have seen the movie Metropia. It has pretty much the same art style as Colin Raff's in my opinion. It's a pretty weird film. Maybe I should do a video essay one day. On June 7th, 2019, one of the most disturbing YouTube videos would be uploaded to the platform. The video, known as
订阅杰登沙拉
amasses over 2.9 million views and is shrouded in mystery. I'm just kidding, it's not that mysterious. Back in the day, around 2019 to 2020, if you were to look up a period in the YouTube search bar, you'd be greeted with tons of genuinely disturbing videos. There's been tons of stories and evidence of people looking up a period and being met with G0RE, stuff like that. This would all be the result of a glitch, one that's surely been patched by now. Now, I say all of this because one of the more tame videos that could pop up when looking a period at this time was the standing goat video. As to where it came from, I actually didn't know, so I just looked up standing goat video and found an article on none other than Know Your Meme. The deep, disturbing, and dark origins all stemmed from an artist/taxidermist on Instagram. The original post was uploaded on September 5th, 2018, and was accompanied with the following caption.
Okay, so I've been casting foxes all day, and I may well be high on fumes, but am I crazy to think that Billy looks like he's alive and moving at the end? Mainly his ears. This video is from an art show in London. This happened months ago, but when I opened my phone, this video was suddenly and mysteriously first. What is going on?
Shortly after this post to Instagram, I'm guessing that the right people saw it at the right time, and everything went from there. It would get used in creepy videos, like the one I already showed, and it would even be the center of many memes. That's the story of Billy the Standing Goat. Adele Morse, the original poster of the goat, she hasn't uploaded since December 2023, so I hope she's still alive. I thought I'd also point out that her other claim to virality is the stoned fox. I'm sure you've seen this one before. 8 years ago, a post was made to the Deep Into YouTube subreddit. Very creepy and weird Christian kids video. I'll let it play for itself.
Good morning, Lord, I'm gonna have a good day. Good morning, Lord. Come on, Jan, wake up. No matter the weather. Do I have to? Uh-huh. Good morning, Lord, I'm gonna have a good day. Come on, wake up and sing. Good morning.
What you're watching is a YouTube video from January 2012 called Jan and Phil Inlow Just for Kids CD Animated by Rosalie Graziano. If you were to skip around different parts of the video, you'd be quick to realize that this is some pretty uncanny stuff. Thankfully, this isn't anything sinister at all, but I still thought I'd talk about it because this particular video is something else. So, let's get into the truly twisted backstory of this video. The two protagonists in this animated musical about Christianity is Jan and Phil Inlow. These are real people, and the songs heard in the video are even sung by Jan and Phil. There's nothing too significant about these people in regards to the channel I'll be talking about, but it is nice to know that they don't actually look like this in real life. The person who animated this masterpiece goes by RG Jubilee, and they've been creating videos on YouTube since 2011. From tutorials on how to make your own animatronics, like this person is genuinely talented at making these, to the mini animated series that RG has made since the early 2000s, there's a lot of content to unpack here. While the Jan and Phil video appears a little creepy to at least me and many other people, RG Jubilee is not a disturbing or scary channel at all. In fact, they're the complete opposite. When doing some research into their channel, I came across an interview with them from 2016. Rosalie G, a self-taught artist in Brevard County who paints, makes puppets, and creates animation, talks with enthusiasm about her art. When asked how long she had been creating artwork, she replied, "Ever since I was able to hold a crayon in my hand, I began drawing." Rosalie, age 57 with a cognitive disability, said, "Thanks to my art, it helped me. Kids teased me in school, special school. That's how I felt as a kid. They called me dumb. I couldn't spell, and I got teased, but my artwork helped." Hearing the backstory of what would eventually become the RG Jubilee channel, It makes me appreciate everything on here a lot more, and I kinda feel bad that her magnum opus has been looked at in a scary light. All RG is aimed to do is make children's movies, children's songs, cool tutorial videos, and there's something about it that's so fascinating to me. I'm not sure how many of you guys have ever tried to make an animation, but it unsurprisingly takes a lot of time. So when I check out all of these hour-long animations on Rosalie's channel, I can't help but respect the hustle. It's also in this video right here that she says she's a self-taught animator, so that's pretty cool.
Never was taught in an animation class. I've always wanted to go, but couldn't afford the big, quote, price tag.
That's pretty much all there is to cover for this one. It's really nothing disturbing or scary at all. But what I want you to do, you watching, I bet it'd really make Rosalie's day if you went and subscribed to her channel and left her some nice comments on her videos. As far as I know, she's still uploading different animations to this day, and I hope she's doing well. P.S. To any of you that are wanting to replicate the RG Jubilee animation style, I'm pretty sure that she used to use an animation software called Crazy Talk Animator, so have fun with that if you want.
It's in the trash the very next day. How is that good for the planet that way? The way they make stuff, the way they make...
There's a good chance you've probably seen one of the following GIFs. Ever since the early 2010s, I've personally seen these clips in different scary compilation videos, but I've never known where they came from. But now I do. These scary GIFs were all taken from a behind-the-scenes video for the horror movie Mama. It's pretty creepy, and I've never actually seen the movie that this was made for. It apparently came out back in 2013, and has even been coined as a high point for modern horror films. The reviews are decent, and the actual theatrical version of the scary lady it's scary. I don't like this. Fun fact, you may think that this was a puppet or something because, there's guys pulling strings on the sides, but this is actually a person. His name is Javier Botet, and at the age of 5, he was diagnosed with Marfan syndrome. This condition can result in people having tall, skinny frames, and can even affect the length of your hands and your fingers. Instead of letting this diagnosis bring him down or whatever, Javier decided to use it to his advantage, and become almost every scary creature in Hollywood. He's been in Mama, Slender Man, It, Polaroid, Alien, Insidious, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and many more. Not only is this GIF super popular and has creeped out people for over a decade, but now you know what it was for and the Giga Chad beneath it. For the last entry, it's probably the only video that disturbs me and nobody else. If you're having a lot of questions about what you just watched, I'm just as confused as you are. I've known about this video since I was a kid, and it's always deeply unsettled me. How is this thing moving on its own? Is it possessed? Does it have a mind of its own? Is this witchcraft? These were the questions I would ask myself when watching this. To answer those age-old questions, no, it's completely harmless. The guy who made this video is called Tetsuya Nagi, and he's been making videos over the walking moai since 2007. I kid you not, for the last 2 decades, he's only stuck to this type of content. From small-scale moais to a plethora of large-scale ones, this dude's got a serious passion. But what is a moai, and what's his fascination with it walking on its own? History time. Moai are the monolithic statues found on Easter Island, carved out by the Rapa Nui people between the years 1250 to 1500. If you've ever seen the full scale of these statues, it's honestly incredible because they're super big, and it was always a mystery to me as to how these giants got stuck in the ground. This is probably where Tetsuya's interest also started. It's highly theorized that people moved the statues around by pulling connected ropes on different sides, basically rocking it back and forth. But there's something else to this, as there's many myths and legends that suggest the moai could walk around on its own. How did it walk around by itself? Was it magical powers used by a Rapa Nui chief? How could this happen? That pretty much ties us back to Tetsuya Nagi, as one of his biggest life goals is to figure out how the moai could walk around on its own. All you have to do is look at the description of the fabled YouTube video. Legend said moai walked by itself. But how did moai walk? I show you my proposal. Before I end this off, Tetsuya might be more interesting than Javier and RG Jubilee. It's been a minute since I've seen this level of dedication to something so peculiar, and I'm a fan. Unfortunately, he hasn't uploaded in over a year, so I hope he's still around, and most importantly, I hope he figures out how the Moai could walk by itself. You can support him financially by buying one of his walking Moai kits off of eBay. I'm honestly considering getting one. This could be an awesome relic. The first entry is one that I found while scrolling on Instagram Reels.
It's Saturday, I believe, and here's the truck I've been driving for the last few days for Wilson Logistics. This trailer just was assigned to us from Kraft over at the Kraft Foods plant, and we're delivering it here to what's called the Springfield Underground. And that is, as you can see behind me, this giant cave that's big enough to house hundreds of these trucks and trailers. There's a train track running through here. Just to give you an idea, back here, there's a regular sized truck. See how tall that is up there? It's just incredible.
As you just saw, the video isn't anything too nefarious. It's a truck driver who's been tasked to deliver some Kraft food, and he's showing off his uncanny surroundings. He doesn't say anything that's alarming, but there is a strange atmosphere in the video. It also doesn't help that the caption above says, "Look up what happened to this man after he secretly recorded the inside of this underground city." Let's take a look at the comment section to try and find some answers. This is how they traffic children, and this is why people can't find their children that have been taken because of these caves. God said they would hide in the mountains, but he would bring the mountains down upon them. The elites are building their exits while we will all become extinct. And finally, Springfield! The Simpsons was never a family comedy. This is the top comment on the reel, and what they're suggesting is that The Simpsons was created to distract people from Springfield, Missouri. Now, why is this person bringing up a random city in the middle of nowhere? It's because the place that is shown in the reel is called the Springfield Underground, located in Springfield, Missouri. And apparently, the theory is that The Simpsons, being set in the fictional town of Springfield, is meant to distract us. As for that conspiracy, I'm not really sure what to make of it. Personally, I'd like to believe that one of my favorite cartoons is nothing more than a cartoon. Maybe I'll dig deeper into that theory another time if you guys want it. Let me know what you think after this. Anyway, I can confirm that this video was taken in the Springfield Underground, because it's literally identical to any video and picture of the place. I'm sure a lot of you watching, including myself before making this, don't know what this underground cave is, so let's get into that. It's basically a 3.2 million square foot underground warehouse located underneath Springfield, Missouri. It was originally a limestone quarry that operated from the 1940s to early 1990s. After the quarry shut down, it was then renovated to become a massive warehouse for multiple things, such as storage units, businesses, and commercial space. One of the main reasons this facility isn't located on the surface is because it maintains a naturally cool and consistent underground temperature, which can help protect sensitive products like food, pharmaceuticals, electronics, and many other temperature-sensitive goods. That's pretty much the entire gist of the Springfield Underground. And it's not like it's some sort of secret base that's blocked off from the world, as thousands of truckers and workers go in and out of this place every day. Here's a video that I found on YouTube of a guy doing just this, going in and out of this place.
Whoa, shit. Look at there, I guess that sucker ain't gonna stay open, man. Holy hell.
So, if millions of truckers have gone here to drop things off since the late 1990s, how is it that none of them have gone missing, except the one dude in the Instagram reel? I guess it doesn't outright claim that he went missing, but it definitely makes you assume that the worst thing happened to him. Not just that, but it also says that he secretly recorded an underground city. And as we now know, that isn't the case. This video is entirely innocent. There's tons of footage of normal people vlogging inside the facility. There's nothing bad going on here. Even though I debunked the Instagram reel, I was still curious if I could find anything suspicious about the underground. Like, are there any connections to some people of interest right now, if you know what I mean? Of course, it wasn't that easy this time, and I didn't make any notable connections. I did come across some old blueprints, but that's not really special, I guess. I just thought it was cool. I did some research on the CEO of Erlen Group, the company that owns the underground, and thankfully, he seems to be a normal guy. I skimmed through his Twitter account to, just look around, and there was no traces of any ominous pizza party posting, if you know what I mean once again. That's all the information I have regarding the Springfield Underground, along with the strange reel. There's never been evidence of secret illegal activity, but I wouldn't be surprised if one day it came out that there was. And Minecraft. I mean, this would be a perfect place to do that, but it isn't, so don't sue me. And Minecraft, and Minecraft, and Minecraft, and Minecraft, and Minecraft. The second video is once again from Instagram Reels.
Let me get Carolyn to help walk you out.
Okay.
How did you get back in?
I just opened a random door and next thing you know I'm in here. What is that?
This is just an old building. We'll walk you out. You're in this one.
Okay.
You just need to get the right person to do it.
Man, talking about stairwell after door after sheesh. What is this place? Whoa. What is this? This big empty area in here. Hello, can you help me out?
Yes.
Please.
Where the f actually is he? Notice the child-friendly environment and intent of her voice. It's like, hey, there's nothing here. We're not trafficking kids through here. Bro is in the back rooms getting a medical evaluation.
Once again, the comment section to the reel are making some pretty crazy assumptions, most of which are talking about how this is video evidence of child trafficking tunnels at Disney World. But after looking through a couple more comments to try and find any context, I found something a bit more reasonable.
It's the Epcot Wonders of Life Pavilion. There's a few videos showing it and diving further, but the whole area is really eerie and 80s to 90s themed.
Thankfully, this was a very helpful hand in the right direction. I looked up the Epcot Wonders of Life Pavilion to see if there's any similarities to what's seen in the reel, and right away, I could tell it was the same place. This was apparently an attraction at the Disney World and Epcot theme park in Orlando, Florida. It opened back in 1989 and was a popular attraction until its closure in 2007. I would highly suggest this video by Bright Sun Films if you're wanting an entire history lesson on the rise and fall of this Disney attraction. So now that we know what the place is in the video, what we're looking at, what's actually going on here? I rewatched it to see if there were any clues to figuring out where this came from, who made it, but there isn't a lot to work with. The camera quality doesn't look that old, so I doubt the video was taken super long ago. It's also worth mentioning that the pavilion is still around till this day, even though it's been closed since 2007. This video could have been taken last week for all we know. What I ended up doing was going onto YouTube and looking up sneaking into Epcot Wonders of Life Pavilion, because that's kind of what it looks like is happening in the video. The first result that popped up for me was this old Adam the Woo video. I thought this could have been the origin, but after watching it, it's not. After scrolling for just a little longer, this was our guy. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him.
Here's most of the original footage.
I'm here in Epcot. I'm about to try to get into the MetLife Lounge. Yeah, can you help me get out of here? Yeah. I've been freaking trying to get out of here for the last 10, 15 minutes.
You work for your cast member?
No, I just freaking tried to go to the bathroom and then I found myself in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, I'm a guest. That's my card.
Let me get Carolyn to help walk you out.
Okay.
How did you get back in?
I just opened a random door and next thing you know I'm in here. What is that?
This is just an old building. We'll walk you out. Hang on just one second.
Okay.
We just need to get the right person to do it.
Man, talking about stairwell after door after sheesh. What is this place?
Why don't you just stay with me? This is just unused office space.
Whoa. What is this? This big empty area in here. Hello, can you help me out?
Yes.
Please.
You're trying to get out of here?
Yes.
All right.
Ooh.
Yes, we've got a nice elevator. How'd you find your way up here? Not even sure?
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I really don't. Ooh. Where are we now?
I'll take you right back this way. And we're gonna just go here. Feels nice in here though.
Yeah. So what is this place?
This is,
Or particularly the building that I was just in, up there?
yes, this is all the same building. It's the Wonders Pavilion.
Okay.
And during Food and Wine, they'll have the different kind of merchandise in here.
Was that like a lounge or something? It looked like it.
Demonstrations. Yeah, so they'll have like private events up there.
The supposed child trafficking tunnels of Disney World don't look that likely anymore after watching that. I mean, if they were really trafficking kids in this corridor of the amusement park, I highly doubt that it would A, be that easily accessible, and B, why would the guy recording get a front row tour to the pavilion? It just doesn't seem that likely to me. If there's all this crazy stuff going on in this part of the park, they would have taken him out so fast. They would have taken him through a secret hallway to get out of there, not walk straight through the pavilion. So that's my take. Anyway, for more backstory on the video itself, it was posted on September 26th, 2017 by Matt Sanswa. I didn't realize it until making this part of the video, but I've actually seen this guy's videos before way back in the day. He had a lot of online virality in the mid to late 2010s for sneaking into different theme parks after hours and vlogging it. This guy literally snuck onto the abandoned Discovery Island at one point. He's truly a legend on YouTube, and I kind of feel bad that I didn't think of him when first seeing this Instagram reel. It's obvious it was Matt. Some of his other popular videos include the one where he shows the Snow Yeti animatronic. This one used to freak me out so bad. And another video where he climbed to the top of the Thunder Mountain Railroad. Matt has infamously been banned from Disney multiple times, and he has my full respect for, showing us the behind the scenes of the amusement parks. It's always super interesting and fascinating to look at. It's also pretty creepy a lot of the time. You can follow him on his Instagram, as that's where he's the most active these days, and I hope he's doing well. But that's about it with this one. The Disney parks have had no evidence of tracking anyone or anything, and the reel is rather innocent. The last video is one that popped up on my TikTok. It's a slideshow of different pictures with text, and I'll read it out for you. For 6 years, I wasn't able to tell my story. That all changes now, and I'm not scared anymore. For the record, I do not want to unalive myself. This temple is just a facade to cover something awful. What we found beneath was absolutely gross. Footage to come, along with many other unsettling things. They held us for 24 hours, relentlessly questioned us, took our belongings, and let us leave. That was the scariest day of my life. When I got home, I immediately bought a new phone and was able to recover the videos from iCloud. FBI didn't think of that one. Part 2 coming soon. The man that posted this is called John Megna. He posted that onto TikTok on February 4th of this year after not uploading since early 2022. After making his comeback to TikTok, he would also share footage of him and his friend running around the island back in 2020.
I'm so sorry. Alright, let's get back to the boat. I don't like that at all. That big flashing dome camera. Alright, let's get the fuck out. Let's get the fuck out. When we get to the top of the hill, I'll get...
Thankfully, as he said in the now viral slideshow, there would be a part 2, so here it is in its entirety.
I know a lot of people are going to say that what I'm about to show you is fake and that I was not on the island, I was never on the island. And to that I say, watch this clip of Joe Rogan.
Is this it?
These guys
This...
snuck up there. I don't know when.
Oh
this
my
was,
God!
but
Look
it's
at that
very
place.
recently.
Yes, bro, that place is dope. That looks almost Alex Gray style. Look how beautiful it is.
It is. It's really just a facade.
And if that wasn't good enough, here's an article posted by The Sun, which is a major British news outlet. They go into pretty good detail. They interviewed my friend. Here's a clip of us in the daytime.
Is this the compass? I can't even tell. I want to take fucking something, bro. I want to slide up, but I also don't want to set off an alarm. Kind of strange that they painted all this on and didn't actually go through the stonework. This is just painted false doors. When, like my camera's rolling. This was the old main entrance.
Let's see what's at the end of this turn, and then we'll turn back. No, dude, I'm not going. I can't even see the end of this thing. Let's keep moving. Dude, come on. Just slow it down. Fuck. Dude. Someone's driving over us. Do you hear that? We gotta go. Dude, we have to go.
His last TikTok, which has the caption stating it's going to be his last post, was another slideshow. Before I show you the pictures, he says in the comments section that these were photos taken from underneath the temple. Now you know everything I know about this place. I'm out, draw your own conclusions. Somebody in the comment section asked what the TikTok logo at the end was covering, and John said that it was too graphic to show. We are going to come back to all of this in a minute. To start off with what I know is true, it is a fact that John Megna and his friend went to the Jeffrey Epstein Island back in 2020. I remember watching the video when it first came out, and it was pretty viral at the time. But what confuses me is that John is just now releasing some pretty important footage. His identity, along with his friend in the video, has been known for well over 6 years at this point, and they've already made multiple posts and videos of themselves sneaking onto the island. So why are we just now getting this footage from underneath the temple? I will also come back to this in a moment. A lot of people are under the impression that John disappeared from the face of the earth after his initial virality back in 2020, but he's been around the entire time, just not really on TikTok. You can go onto his Instagram and see that he's posted quite a few pictures from the time he was on the island all the way to present day. It appears that he's a photographer because there's tons of professional photos of cars and concerts. It's also on this post from 2019 that he says he went to school for graphic design and entrepreneurship. Even though he supposedly got caught by the FBI or somebody on Epstein's island for over 24 hours, he seemingly lived a pretty good and normal life since then. It's also pretty interesting for how traumatic of an event this must have been for John. He made sure to post a pretty hard picture of himself in front of the temple. And not just that, but there's quite a few comments that he left on this post that rub me the wrong way. This is still so wild to me. What can I say? I'm a guy who enjoys the finer things in life, like Dasani and the Michelin Man. I still can't believe this. It's actually all fake. Nothing really that crazy. Shit, break into the building and check it out, or go to some other buildings on the island. You're right. Did you bump into him whilst you were on the island? Yeah, he's alright. Go inside. The doors are fake. Finally, here's an interaction between John and the friend that went with him onto the island. His friend goes by Brackos online. Fake. I would like to address the allegations many have brought forth concerning the legitimacy of this post. I can neither confirm nor deny. Can we finally come out with a video saying it was a hoax and that we never really went? Nah, let's keep him in the dark a while longer. Lol, idiots. John's comments and responses don't really align with how someone would typically handle a situation like the one he supposedly went through. The next thing I did was look at his friend's Instagram. He's actually the one who uploaded the videos to YouTube back in 2020. He, like John, was also highly active on social media after visiting the island, and he seems to live a pretty crazy yet fairly regular life. As you can see, he's really into skydiving, so I guess it's not really regular, but fairly regular life. I went onto his YouTube channel, and surprisingly, the original uploads of them exploring are still there. Here's some of the clips from their first time.
This is so surreal.
No tunnels.
We did it. We did it.
Here's some clips from their second time.
I'm good. I'm rolling. When, like, my camera's rolling. This was the old main entrance. It's Epstein's Island. This is just painted false doors. Not many people are going to get this view ever. We gotta go. There's something covered in the center. Picture?
What's interesting about the second video is that there's a couple moments throughout where an image will flash on screen for half a second. At 13 minutes and 22 seconds, a picture of a concrete hallway flashes quickly. This whole thing is so weird. I just want to know what really happened to them. That's essentially all the information I can bring to the table regarding this entry. On one hand, I want to believe that John is telling the truth, and that the media he's now coming out with are real. I mean, the clothes that they are wearing in the new TikTok are the same clothes that they wore from one of the times they went to the island back in 2020. Obviously, that can be pretty easy to fake, but it is worth noting. On the other hand, there are just too many flaws and unanswered questions that hurt John's claims. Why is he just now releasing all of this whenever Jeffrey Epstein is a hot topic again? If they were really taken hostage for 24 hours and came across all of this wild stuff underneath the temple, why wouldn't they have said or done something about it? They were already brave enough to upload the footage of them sneaking on and running around. You would think that they would have talked or shown at least a little bit of what happened after this. And if they were caught for an entire day and stripped of all their belongings, their phone, their cameras, how did they manage to escape with all of these pictures and videos? I don't care if it's iCloud, it's just not possible to me. You know what really ruins a lot of the credibility for me? The alarms that go off in the TikTok video. It sounds exactly like this alarm sound effect on YouTube. How weird is that? That a mysterious alarm system that we've never actually seen before on the island, it sounds just like this video that I found on YouTube. Like, what a coincidence. If we go to the Bracco's channel, he's made videos exploring creepy tunnels before. It wouldn't be that hard to fake. These guys are already well versed in photography and graphic design and urban exploration. They could easily find a concrete tunnel somewhere and claim it's underneath Epstein's island. What common sense is telling me is that John's comeback arc on TikTok is not entirely telling the truth. Yes, he did go there back in 2020, but there is not enough evidence to even show that he went underground. Do you remember that comment he received over 200 weeks ago of someone asking if he even went inside the temple? Reminder, his response was, "The doors are fake." This guy never broke in, and the proof has always been there to suggest that. My biggest problem with all of this is that the Jeffrey Epstein story is a very serious, disturbing story. You know this. It's a very serious issue, and making TikToks that I personally find to be fake just isn't right. Real people were hurt on this island, real people were hurt by Jeffrey Epstein, and possibly spreading misinformation about what's going on there isn't going to help anybody. It will only confuse us more. If John or Bracco's wants to prove their story true, then I'm totally open to talk to them about what they went through. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to send hate to them or lie on their name. I just don't buy their new narrative. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm curious to see what you'll have to say. I'm willing to be proven wrong. I just want the truth. If you made it to the end of this compilation, what are you doing? Did you actually watch the entire video? If so, I'm curious. Could you tell me your top 3 or top 5 favorite entries that I covered? Which investigation was the most interesting to you? Which one was the scariest? Which entry completely sucked and wasn't disturbing at all? Did you notice that I pretty much say the same words and phrases every single time, but repackage it a little differently? I noticed that I do that sometimes. It's like every video I feel like I say the same thing. There's a guy on Reddit, and I search on Google, same thing, but it's okay because it's awesome. Anyway, thank you for watching and making it to the end, or actually maybe you're just now waking up from a nap and hearing my voice coming from the speakers on your TV. Hi, I see you, Ryan. And yeah, I see you too. I see you sleeping in the corner, Abigail. Yeah, I see you. Here's a shout out to everyone on my Patreon. Bye. AJ Escalante, Angel Cat, Artie Boop, Aster LX, Aw Shucks, Basmic, Beaver Malaga, Bella M, Boy Kisser, Buttles, Kate Filson, Chinpad66, Cherry Bomb 64, Desmos, Dr. Deagle, Dusty Antler, SO Boomin, Evan W, Eyeball Dude, 4 for Color, Fur TKM Dakesy, Giovanni Cruz, Gratera, Artemis Shelton, Johnny VOK, Josh S, Josh Wynn, JW Zam77, KN8, Camp Waffle 2020, Lottie Dottie, Mommy Trash Stack, Matt Set on a Cat, McStinker, Mustlord, Knoxville Dreams, Matt McCusker, Royally Oily, Shiny Breakson, Slender Slime 462, Takai Mirasaki, and Toaster STF.